What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. Today's going to be a very special day and a lot of fun, and just glad that you're along for the ride. Hey, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my crew can get together and talk about all the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, and so much more. And if those are things that get your blood flowing, get you up in the morning, make you want to go downstairs, unplug all the wires out of your TV, plug them all back in to make sure that they're right and get your game set up just right like my son does, then hey, this is for you. This is the place for you. And we're glad that you found us. So please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know when we put out new videos, because you're going to want to be around when we do videos like today, because today is going to be very informative, should be a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to it because it means something to me. Actually, it goes back to a little bit of my childhood and a little bit of my past. And we're just going to share some stories. We're going to have a good time. Now, that being said, just thank you to everybody who's here today. It's always good to see our nerd family, and we're so grateful to everyone who's a part of the channel, and you guys are just awesome. So thank you guys. Don't forget, we do now have memberships on the channel, so you can become a member of the channel, and our moderators are already in there looking after that and making sure that you guys are aware of that. But you want to get your new membership badge and become part of what we're doing here on the Poindexter Lounge. And of course, if you do that, you get really cool, emojis and stuff. So when we say something, that you want to go after somebody, you can go, no, super punch, or you can get Landon screaming at somebody, that's always fun too. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say about that. But like I said, it is good to have you with me today. Now, I do want to shout out somebody because they messaged me just before we went on earlier, and that is Benson's. We all love Benson's over in the UK. Benson said a $5 super chat before we even started because he had to go to bed. And he said, man, I'd really like to stay up and watch your stream today, but I'm over there and I got to go to bed. So he says, but have a fantastic show. Send in the love. I'll watch in the morning. Could you give a shout out to my daughter, Madison, who is 16 on the 22nd? Absolutely. Happy birthday, Madison. It's good to have you here. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, to her, happy birthday, dear Madison. Happy birthday to you. All the way across the pond. We love Benson's, great supporter of the channel, and we're grateful. So we're not going to take up a lot of time saying hi to everybody like we normally do, because we've got some guests here tonight, and we got a great show for you guys. So first of all, I want to bring in my good buddy Max, because Max, you've been wanting us to do this for a while. You've been wanting me to bring in Tommy for a while, and so
yeah, it's just well, I think, is Tommy going to be okay at a place for nerds? I think he'll be all right.
He is pretty cool. I mean, he is pretty cool, but I mean, he's in charge of the television.
Well, yeah, just basically positive, creative people. I think we always should talk to each other, especially if you're putting something good in the world in 2020.
Absolutely,
bringing something for the family, the love of retro. And you have a lot in common. You're both collectors. I saw Tommy's crib. I rewatched the episode of MTV. He's been on MTV Cribs before. He's got a lot of cool collectibles. I mean, look at Enosh's room there.
My kind of guy. It's my kind of guy.
Right. So he's
dealing in Ferraris and stuff.
He's one of us in the industry. I really
feel you go.
That's why I root for him so much. I'm like, yeah, he's one of us. Even if you heard of his original start, he was discovered at Guitar Center, I think, with a TurboGrafx 16 shirt on. That's how he got his first gig.
Well, we're going to talk about some stuff with him for sure, and so we're not going to keep him waiting anymore. We're going to let him tell his story.
Yeah.
We're going to let him tell his
story.
He'll
do it better than I will. Yeah,
exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome with me to the Poindexter Lounge for the first time, Tommy Tallarico. Hey, it's good to have you, Tommy.
Yo, Enosh, great to see you. Great to meet you, Max. How you doing, my friend? We haven't spoken for a bit on live, so. Thank you so much for the content you've been creating on your channel. I love your channel, but I'm really excited to be on Poindexter Lounge. Something a little different, not necessarily all focused on video games, but talking about movies and entertainment. And yes, I heard your intro, and absolutely 100%. I'm a proud. I like to use the word collector. As opposed to nerd, but
I hear you. I hear you.
But I'm a nerd. I'm a collector nerd as well. So
that's awesome, Tommy. That's awesome. Hey, so let me ask you, man, because like just looking up stuff. I mean, obviously you're a musician, you're a composer, and look, I love that because I've been a musician my whole life. Cool. I recorded my first album actually in Riverside, California, at a studio in Riverside when I was 12. My family traveled and sang and performed and stuff like that, and I've gotten to tour and done all that kind of stuff. And
what instrument?
So I play guitar. I play several instruments, but I mostly play guitar and sing.
I heard your voice singing "Happy Birthday." I was going to compliment you on that. It was very good. I was very impressed.
I appreciate that.
Max, not so much. I don't think Max.
No, I'm not.
Max doesn't have a great, beautiful singing voice.
No, there's a reason for the mask, which I think they got a little bit of a glimpse of that earlier behind the scenes. And there's a reason I don't sing much. No, I appreciate talented people. I am not one of those. I am a fan of people that know what they're doing. Yes,
talented. You're a talented dude.
You guys are real talented. I root for you. And what I said about that earlier, Tommy, is I really the reason I always say, like, trust in Tommy. He hasn't really failed yet, and he's one of us. Like when you got started in that the Guitar Center. I mean, I
was homeless. Oh,
I didn't know that.
Living on the street. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Tommy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I grew up I was born and raised in Springfield, Massachusetts, on the East Coast. I come from all four of my grandparents, came off the boat through Ellis Island from Italy and, landed in New York. So I have New York roots, and then right over the border in Niagara Falls, and Ontario, St. Catharines, Ontario. So upstate New York. And then and that's where most of my family resides. And then my dad got a job at Mass Mutual in the late 60s, which is a big insurance company. And and their home office is in Springfield, Mass. Springfield, Mass was an amazing place to grow up. It was the home of the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's where basketball was invented. It's the home of Smith & Wesson guns, the home of Milton Bradley. So the game company, Monopoly and all that. And also Indian motorcycles. It's where Dr. Seuss was born. And so, there was this whole kind of really fun times growing up. Big Italian community, Irish community, Polish community. So a little bit of a melting pot there. A lot of Catholics. So I kind of grew up in the 70s. I'm 52 years old now. And how old are you, Enosh?
I just turned 44.
44. Okay, so we're Gen Xers. Max, you're a little younger, yeah? You're in your late 30s?
Yes, you're right. Yes.
Okay. You're like Gen X, millennial cusp,
yeah? Yeah.
You seem like more of a Gen Xer to me, though.
A little bit. Hold on. I hit something on my... Sorry. I was trying to check the mod too to be safe.
Well, Tommy, everybody wishes they were Gen Xers.
We don't want to say that because then everyone will get mad at us. But I would rather be nothing else. But that's me. If it depends when you grow. Whatever your generation is, you think it's the best, right?
Absolutely.
But yeah. So I grew up there, and the first video game system that we really had. I had a Coleco Telstar in 1975. That was the first video game system. In fact, I still have my exact unit. But Intellivision entered our house in 1980, and that's when everything kind of changed, because everything before that generation, Atari, Coleco, Intellivision, Channel F, Fairchild, everything before that was just a Pong ripoff, right? Let's be fair. You could call it hockey and squash and tennis all you wanted, but it was still paddles bouncing a ball around, right? Black and white. So Intellivision was the first real machine, and what I remember growing up, I mean, some of my greatest childhood memories we're playing Intellivision with my younger brother. I had a younger sister. I was the oldest. My mom, my dad, it was simple. It was easy. People could, come. My mom could, she'd be cooking the sauce in the kitchen and the pasta, the fresh pasta. And then she'd come out and she'd play skiing. And then she'd put the wooden wooden spoon down, play a round of skiing, go back. That's awesome. And so it was so accessible for everyone. And so, and that becomes, kind of the genesis of, not the Sega Genesis, but it becomes the genesis of why, I created Amico with Intellivision. But yeah, when I turned, and I was in bands my whole life. I started playing piano when I was 3. I started playing guitar when I was 5. And the reason we do things when we're kids is to impress our parents, right? And so my parents were a product of the 50s, and they loved Elvis Presley and Jerry Lee Lewis, and they'd play all their old 78s and all that. And so, my mom started taking piano lessons. She had rented a little upright that was in the corner of our house. And again, some of my earliest memories where I'd take my mom's record player and I set it next to the thing, and I was learning Great Balls of Fire and Jailhouse Rock. Nice. And so, your parents are like, oh my God. And they'd start calling the neighborhoods, the neighbors over and look at what he's doing. And so as a 3, 4, 5-year-old kid, it's like your parents are everything in your life. And so you want to learn how to so it was very early on that I enjoyed performing because I was getting attention from my parents, and that's all I really cared about. And then I learned my dad loved the movie The Godfather, which came out in 1972. Italian family. What do you think? We don't like The Godfather? Of course,
sure,
we love,
sure. Of course.
And my grandparents would watch it. And again, so what I would do is when it came out, they came out on Laserdisc, if you remember those in the mid 70s.
I almost bought a couple Laserdiscs a couple of weeks ago that I found at an antique store. It was just amazing. Like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I found like Superman 2, and it was like 2 big discs. And I was like, oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah, I had Tron. I had, all those great movies. But, and so we had the Laserdisc. And again, so I started learning the theme from The Godfather, and I would, play it on guitar. Mm-hmm. And then in 1977, God rest his soul, Eddie Van Halen, when I listened to that first record, it kind of changed my life from a guitar player standpoint. And I idolized the guy ever since. He was my hero, my true guitar hero. And then for symphonic music, it was Beethoven and Mozart and John Williams. And so Beethoven was my jam. And it was funny because, I when Star Wars came out again in 1977, what a great time to be alive.
Heck yeah.
Rocky came out in 1976, Star Wars in 77. And when that movie hit, when Rocky and Star Wars and that music, it was just like, yes, the images, yes, the Ewok or the Chewbacca's and the Wookiees, R2 and C-3PO. But to me, that music, not only was it visuals and the storyline, but that music was just changed my life. And I went down to the library, and because that's what you did back then. There was no Google or internet.
Sure.
You go to the library, and I looked up. I'm like, who did the music for Star Wars? And I see this John Williams guy, and he had also done Jaws. He did the theme from Gilligan's Island in the late 60s. A lot of people don't know that.
Did John Williams do that?
He did Gilligan's Island.
Why doesn't that surprise me? Why doesn't that surprise me?
That was his first gig, right? Everybody thinks
it was
Jaws, but no, it was Gilligan's Island was one of them. And so I start reading about this guy, reading an interview. And in that interview, he said that, one of his biggest influences was Beethoven. And I'm like, I've heard, when you're young, it's like, oh, you hear that name, right? Sure. It's like, oh yeah, Beethoven was this guy, right? But I didn't really know much about him. So I went and I got a Beethoven album that I checked out of the library. And it happened to be Beethoven's Ninth, which is quite arguably his greatest work. There's Beethoven's Fifth, and there's many, but to me, the ninth, Ode to Joy, and the third movement,
Mhm.
the first movement's amazing too. And so I listen to this, and again, life-changing moment when you're 9 years old, and discovering this stuff on your own. And so I started to listen to Beethoven, and I would start to learn it on the piano. I'd learn by ear. I never took music lessons. Now, the other thing too, the kind of part of this story is that my cousin is Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. His real name is Steven Tallarico. And so growing up, again, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, going to an Aerosmith concert in Worcester or Boston Gardens, or they'd come to Springfield as well. And, the family, we'd sit on the side of the stage. And to me, he was always just cousin Steven. He's 20 years older than me.
Sure.
And so, again, how do you not idolize your cousin who you're seeing performing in front of 20,000 people?
Heck yeah.
And then he comes off stage and he, gives me a rub on the head or a wink of the eye and a hug or whatever. And it's just like, so of course, and again, I always tell Steven, because we talk frequently and still, and I always told him, I said, the thing that he gave to me the most was that as a young kid, when I looked at a AAA absolute worldwide rock star, and he's still for 50 years,
oh my gosh,
been on top. And there's not a lot of people who can say that, right? There's not a lot. You got Mick Jagger, but even the guys from, you could put U2 in there, I think, but they're in there. Michael Jackson, Prince, he's a rock god still, right?
Yes.
And when, and so to me, the greatest gift he ever gave me is that when I would look at him growing up, I never thought that what he did was like an impossible dream. I never thought that, like, oh, well, cousin Steven's a rock star, and he's performing in front of 20,000 people.
Sure.
Why shouldn't I? That looks like, wow, look how much fun he's having. I want to do that as well. Whereas, a lot of times, especially when we're kids, and sometimes it's our parents or sometimes it's our friends are like, oh, well, that's an impossible dream. Don't even, you can't be a rock star. You can't be an actor. You can't be a second baseman for the New York Yankees
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was the gift that he unknowingly gave me. And we have emotional conversations about that.
That's awesome.
And he's just an amazing guy. Everything that you think how cool he is. And if you think like, oh, it's a persona, it's not. He is like that in real person. He's the most giving person I've ever met. I'll tell you a really quick story. And it'll give you all you need to know about Steven Tyler. So I don't know, I've been backstage to many, many shows and my entire life. And I've seen him do this every time. So, usually before the show, we're in the dressing room. I'm in the dressing room backstage with him or whatever. And then he has to do like a meet and greet.
Yeah.
The fan club, radio contest winners, stuff like that. And walks in a room and there's usually maybe 30, 40 people. And the second he walks in the room, boom, everybody just turns, gasp of air, and they just go right at him, right? And he's so gracious with his time. And this is what Steven Tyler does. And this is all you need to know about Steven Tyler and the person he is. He's literally, how you have some of these rock stars who are like, oh, I don't want to be famous. It's such a burden.
Yeah.
This guy wakes up every day for 50 years and thanks. He has so much thankfulness that he loves being a rock star. Make no mistake. He is his gratitude is off the charts. So when he walks in that room and boom, everybody walks up to him, this is what he does. He says, oh, hey, thanks. Oh yeah, this is so great. Oh, Steven, I'm your biggest fan. I played your Dream On for my wedding. It's all the same stuff, right?
Yeah.
I got laid to walk this way in my car. But Sweet Emotion. and he says, "Hey, everyone, this is so great. I want to hear all your stories. I can't wait to meet y'all. We're going to take pictures. I'm going to sign everything. Could you give me a few minutes?" And, "Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, sure. Whatever, Steven." And then he looks around the room, and there's always 2 or 3 people who are sitting in the corner, completely shy and terrified, because they're heroes.
That's
right?
Awesome. Yeah.
And they could never, like, they can't even get the word. They're shaking, they're crying. And Steven Tyler walks up to each one of those. "Hi, how you doing? I'm Steven Tyler."
That's cool.
That is who Steven Tyler is. Forget all the other stuff you've ever heard about him. That's true stuff. And you won't hear people bragging about it, but I'm going to. And he's just a kind soul, and really, he's really cognitive of who he is and the reaction that he has, to other people, and he loves it. Anyway,
that's fine.
That's great.
That's an awesome story. I mean, as a musician myself, to be able to hear something like that, my favorite people that I've ever met, that when I've met, celebrities, or met somebody, that I idolized or whatever, I always loved that about it, because like one of my musical heroes is a guy named John Schlitt. He was the lead singer of a band called Head East, and then later on he was lead singer of a Christian band, Petra, which is one of the bigger Christian
I know
bands.
Petra, yeah.
So I grew up listening to Petra. I mean, I followed Petra around, like I had all their albums and stuff. And it's so funny because you were talking about like family believing in you, like, even when you don't believe in yourself. I remember when I picked up a guitar at 15 and I started playing. I remember like I was playing to a Petra record or whatever. I've been playing a year. I sucked, and I'm like jamming up. My grandma, who raised me, she comes into my room. She knocks on my door. She comes in. She hears what I'm doing. She goes, "Hey, who are you listening to?" And I told her it was Petra. And she goes, "Enosh, my grandma's very, very religious, very, and I've learned that, man, my grandma hears from God. That's just all I got to say about that, because my grandma says to me, Enosh, God's telling me you're going to play with that guy one day." And I'm sitting there like, 15, 16-year-old Enosh sitting, with his crappy little Yamaha guitar going,
"Right.
Thanks, Grandma. Yep. Okay. I can't even figure out this song right now, sure." And I kid you not, Tommy, skip, just a few short years later, it was 2003. She was on the front row at the very first show that I did with John Schlitt as his guitar player.
No.
I kid you not.
Awesome. That's great.
That moment, and like to have that, and then like that subsequent summer, like we did this tour with him and stuff, and we played, and it was like, you have the moment when you're out in front of 10,000 people or something. And this is a Grammy Award winner, and like you're just sitting there, and like I never, with every show we did, I just thought of my grandmother every time we'd go out, like her telling me that, and my grandma's told me a lot of stuff, right, that I've always thought was like over the moon crazy and stuff, and I just go, you know what, nothing's impossible. After that, nothing is impossible. What know?
You're right. And I am such a huge believer in, positive mental attitude. Like my dad gave me Think and Grow Rich when I was 12 years old, Napoleon Hill. If anyone out there listening to my voice wants to like legitimately change their life for the better, it's free on YouTube or Netflix or Amazon. Go watch the documentary, The Secret. And follow through and listen to everything, having gratitude, manifesting, you can, again, and me and my brother were just talking about this last week. When I was 12 years old, I used to tell my brother, like, someday I'm going to be, someday I'm going to be the president of INTELLIVISION. Like I used to put on video game concerts for my neighborhood friends. I'd take my dad's big ass tape recorder, right, with the 8 batteries, and I would go down to our local arcade. I'd record, my favorite video game music. I'd bring it home. I'd invite my neighborhood friends over. I'd charge them a nickel, and I'd play the tape back, jump up in front of my TV with my INTELLIVISION games behind me, and I would play along with the thing. I put on little concerts for my friends. And, here I am, what would be 40 years or 30 years later, I was doing it on stage for real at a sold out show, doing sold out shows at the Hollywood Bowl or Red Rocks, or, breaking Guinness World Records in China for the biggest audience to ever see a symphony show live, called, at the Beijing, the Bird's Nest, the National Olympic Stadium, 752,000 people I performed in front of.
Wow.
And so, yeah. And well, that was a good text to Steven. Hey, Steven, you ever play here? He's like, damn, no, you one-upped me, son. You one-upped me, kiddo.
That's awesome.
But yeah. And so, and it really is about having that confidence in yourself, believing that no matter what is going to happen, and I always equate things that I do in my life, like my goals in life, I always like to equate them to like mountains, like you're climbing this mountain, right? So, so, you know, I was the first, I love it. The Ren right there. See that? Cause I've talked about it before. Congrats to you. Also, shout out to the Retro Bro. I saw him in there. Do you even Amico, bro? Come on. But anyway, and so, you know, you think of things in your life and you say, okay, I'm going to climb this mountain. And you know what? I don't know exactly when I'm going to get to the top. I might not have my map rooted out, right? But I know that I'm going to be there. No matter what, nothing's going to drag me down. Nothing's going to stop me from getting there, right? Yep. So you start on this goal, and let's say, you know, I was the first video game composer to ever put out a worldwide soundtrack album for video games, and it was on Capitol Records, the first worldwide syndicated television show about video games, syndicated worldwide, Electric Playground, Reviews on the Rod, Judgment Day, the very first touring video game concert, touring around the world using symphonies and lights. That's my video games live show. Every single thing that I would do, people would call me crazy. I had people who hate video games live. Are you serious, idiot? First of all, people who go to symphony shows don't play video games. And people who do play video games certainly do not go to symphony shows. You're so screwed. No one's going to show up to your dumb thing. And that's the kind of hate that I would get online, negativity I would get online. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. Nobody's going to like my thing. Now, Max, knowing what you know of me and knowing of Amico, any of that sound a little familiar?
Yeah, you're not bragging. Like that's one of the arguments I said. I'm like, he hasn't lost yet. Like he I mean, what his goals, he goes for it. He tries till he gets there.
Until I get there. So
right. So
like
I don't,
David,
don't count him out. Just like James Cameron in the new movie, people were like, "Oh, Avatar." They never count out James Cameron either. He's another hero of mine. I'm just trust him.
I got a great James Cameron story for you when you have it.
Well, I mean, you look at it this way. People love to hate on stuff, right? Yeah. But this is what I see, Tommy. And I mean, Max has talked to me a lot about this. I've been on a couple of streams with him where he's talked about the Amico and what you're doing. And we're gonna go into some of that, obviously. But first of all, like I just love now getting to actually meet you, talk to you, hear your passion just about life in general, because I think a lot of times people, of course, people count people out, right? They think everything is crazy and stupid and you're never going to make anything of that. You know, I mean, that's what people say about a lot of stuff.
They drag you down. They want to bring you to their level.
I had never met you. Exactly. I had never met you. I had never talked to you, but you know, today I was, this weekend, actually, I was reading up on you a little bit more and finding out more about you and stuff. And obviously I'd heard about you, and I knew some things about you, but it was funny because I was reading one review about you and I knew from that moment, I'm like, I'm going to like this guy because the review actually was just about you performing. And it talked about the energy that you bring on stage and that you just have this joy and this passion and this interaction. And I was just like, that's the kind of guy I like. That's a guy that I know gets it, because like you see these people who just like, and you mentioned to you about Steven, about like going on stage, that he loves being a rock star. He loves doing what he does. And I look at so many people like they're in that position, but they act like their life sucks because it's like they can't find the joy in that. And you see some people are just downers and they're just doubters of everything. And it's really great to see somebody with some passion, with some excitement, that you say, look, I'm putting my chance out there, right? I'm taking this company that's been around, that obviously meant something to you, growing up, that was something that you enjoyed. and I'm going to bring it back in even a bigger and better way than ever. And then, hey, you let it fall where it falls, right? But if you don't take that chance, nothing's going to happen.
Well, and you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta have, and it's interesting because people who don't kind of understand or get that could look at me and listen to these words and say, you know what, that guy's so arrogant. He's so cocky, saying that he can win and he can't lose. And again, those folks, you have to understand there's a difference between being cocky and egotistical or a narcissist and being confident. Those are two complete. Now, does sometimes they cross over each other? Absolutely. Sometimes do I accidentally, not meaning to go? Absolutely. Right. It's sometimes because you say words in a certain way and people take them the wrong way. Right. Oh, shoot, that's not what I meant. But I see how that could have come across as somebody not knowing the situation as kind of being a little cocky or whatever. But so I get that. I appreciate it. And I, but that's the thing is that when we first mapped out INTELLIVISION 3.5 years ago, do you think we had something in the spreadsheet that said, oh, and the world's going to shut down for 9 months?
Right.
It's like, and no one's going to be able to work in an office together right before you're going to launch. Oh, and the country that you're launching it from, like that's going to manufacture it. Yeah, there's going to be that's where this worldwide disease and millions of people are going to catch this thing and hundreds of thousands, a million people are going to die. And like, you don't put those in the spreadsheet. Right.
Sure. Yeah.
But that's the point, though. The people that are the most successful that I've met in my circle and people that I love reading about successful people, even people I've never met, Walt Disney, Harry Houdini, P.T. Barnum. Like these are some of the people that I've studied their lives. And I try to, I try to align myself. Like, what did they do? How did they do it? Why were they more successful than anyone else? There's a great book by Malcolm Gladwell called The Tipping Point. And he talks about, and it's a kind of like a marketing book, but he talks about Paul Revere, how, there were hundreds of people that rode out on that night, going through the towns of New England saying, the British are coming, the British are coming. But only Paul Revere is known for the guy. Why is that? Well, the reason that is that Paul Revere is what they refer to in the book is a connector, meaning he knew, because he was a popular guy himself, he knew all of the popular people in each of the towns. So what he did is when he would ride into a village or a town, he went to one of the most popular people in the town, the 2 or 3 popular folks. He knocked on one door and said, look, I know you're the best person in the town to spread the word. The British are coming. Boom. And then he rode off to the next town. Whereas all the other people, because they didn't know the right folks, were knocking on every single door, wasting a lot of time. Paul Revere gets the credit, right? And so, but it's all about, networking. And if you'll notice the people that I have around me, and I know, Max, you've spoken about this before, the team that we've built, the team that we've created, the developers who are supporting this, the people who have left their 6-figure jobs to come and work for INTELLIVISION, right? And so you have to have that confidence. So we've had this year a worldwide pandemic, the likes of which we've never seen, our generation and people haven't seen since the Black Plague. We've had riots in the streets of our country like we've never seen before. People burning down cities, rioting. We've had the stock market crash. We've had freaking murder hornets, for crying out loud. It's like, what else you gonna throw at me, God? What else? Universe, whatever you believe in, universe, Allah, whatever whatever you believe in, right? Come on, what else you got?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. We still have to get.
Bring on the murder hornets.
And we still we still have 2.5 months, right?
Yes. I want to get to the meat. Don't tempt fate, Tommy.
Well, no, it's
I wanna
funny
get to
because
Amico.
this summer I wrote an email after the riots and the murder hornets were around, and I wrote an email to everybody in the company, and I'm like, it was kind of like a pep email, say, you know what, doesn't matter. Murder hornets, who cares? We are going to reach our goal. It's going to be great. I was giving the rah-rah speech over email, and I says, I says, it doesn't matter. What's next? Locust? And that's what I put in my email. The next morning, it comes over. Worst locust outbreak in Africa in 1,000 years. I was like, I got to keep my mouth shut, right?
There you go.
But the goal, the mountaintop, whether it's Video Games Live, my show, or the soundtrack album, or, by the way, TV shows, we won Emmy Awards, Telly Awards, all these national awards.
That's how I've started following you.
That's how you knew, right?
Yeah.
And when you get, and Amico is the mountain I'm climbing right now. And you know what? It's going to rain. It's going to sleet, and I don't know when. Rocks are going to be coming down on top of me, and people are going to be tugging at your heels to drag you down because they don't want you to succeed. They're going to drag you down, and all these things are going to happen. And you know what you say? It's like Rocky Balboa. Let's take it back to the movies.
Heck yeah.
That scene in Rocky Balboa, and I'm literally getting tears in my eyes and goosebumps.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, Tommy.
When he hits the ground in Rocky 1, and Mickey's telling him, "Stay down, kid, stay down," and Rocky, and he gets up, and the greatest look. Apollo Creed looks over at him, and he just goes like this. Cannot believe this guy. And that's how I feel every day working on Amico. They can put out as much hate videos as they want. They can try to tear me down. Boy, they don't know what they're messing with, right? Because I will be at the top of the mountain, and there's nothing they can do about it, and it drives them nuts.
Well,
like David Perry, my best friend, says, I've known and worked with Tommy for 30 years. I wouldn't bet against him. And I'd say the same thing to him.
Well, Tommy, I can tell you, we've just been talking a few minutes, and already I'm inspired. I feel like I can do anything now. I feel like I can go out and take over on the world. So thank you for that.
Do it up.
Hey, if you guys are just joining us, we are talking with Tommy Tallarico. And he's multi-talented. He's an awesome musician, awesome everything. He's inspired all of us today to just be awesome. And he is you're the president of INTELLIVISION, right? And Amico.
Yeah. CEO and president. Yeah.
CEO and president. And so today we're talking about that, where he's giving us some backstory on this. And real quick before we move forward, I do want to say a shout out to Master of None for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you so much. Right. And the Retro Bro, thank you so much for the $3 chat.
I want to talk to the Retro Bro. I like him.
So you gotta. Yeah. Max, can you please have the Retro Bro on?
Oh, yeah.
We'll all have the Retro Bro on. We'll all have the Retro Bro on. Sounds good to me.
Look at that.
Look at those guns. Look at those guns.
I mean, I feel like he's my brother with these guns too. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who you're mentioning in the chat that you subscribed and everything. So, and also I will say, if we have some time at the end, if you guys have some questions for Tommy, put them in there. And if you have some questions, we'll try to get to them. I know I'm going to bring in my son Isaac. I'm going to bring in my son Isaac in a little while. He's a gamer, and so I know he's probably going to have a couple of questions about this. But we're going to talk about the Amico and INTELLIVISION. And I told you, I wrote you the story, and so I want to tell everybody. You were talking about your connection with INTELLIVISION when you were younger. So I was born in Las Vegas, Nevada. I lived out there till I was almost 7. And my mom, she had a lot of problems with drugs and alcohol, and she had some mental issues. And so I lived with my mom for quite a while. My grandmother moved back to Michigan, and my mom, I ended up coming to live with my grandmother. My grandmother raised me and my 2 sisters, and my mother just passed away a couple of years ago. But the thing is, I had a very back and forth kind of testy relationship with my mom over the years. Sure. And but one of the last things that I remember that was like a really good moment was she got me an INTELLIVISION 2. And it was the first gaming system I ever had, Tommy. It was the first thing I ever had anything like that. It had this old black and white TV, but we got the thing hooked up, and I had of course blackjack and poker. I had boxing, and then I had lock and chase.
Yeah.
And so
bring them all back.
Heck yeah. And so the crazy thing is I didn't bring much with me from Vegas. I mean, I didn't have very much when I came from my mother's place to my grandmother here in Michigan. I didn't have much, but I had this right here.
There it is.
And
television too.
Yep. And so I had this, and what went with
those
it
side
was
buttons really sucked. I apologize.
Oh yeah. Oh my
the
gosh.
IntelliVoice.
Yeah. And the IntelliVoice that went with it. You hooked this all up, and that was before video games really talked much. But you hook that in there like that, and then you got a little bit of talking in your video games, and then
doesn't that mean all those toys that you have sitting behind you? And I see what a wonderful, amazing collection you had.
Thank you.
But if the place was burning, would you not go for that? And that would be the one thing you grab, right?
Absolutely.
Reminds you of your family, your mom, your childhood.
Absolutely. And it still works. It still works. I mean, I had it hooked up. It still works. It works great. And the funny thing is like when the NES came out, and when I was because I was born in 76. So when the NES came out, I was about 12, 13-ish. And all my friends were all about the NES, but I didn't get an NES right away. We didn't have the money but I had that IntelliVision. And the funny thing was one of my local stores, they clearanced all their IntelliVision toys. So all of their IntelliVision toys went on sale for like $2.
$2 a game.
And dude, I went through and I bought all of them. And the funny thing is, I'll never forget my best friend Harold. He went home on Christmas because he got a NES for Christmas, and he came right back to my house, and we played IntelliVision because we had all these games. All he had was Mario Brothers for Nintendo, and he had already played that a ton. We had Astro Smash, we had Utopia, we had Tron. I do have Night Stalker, man. I got a couple of, where are they? I don't know.
Did you see the new Night Stalker?
I have. So I got a little box right here with some of my old games, and this is just a few bit. Yeah, Star Strike, Space Hawk, Tron Deadly Disc.
Fun.
Tron.
Math fun. Oh, dude, Tron Tron on IntelliVision, man.
I'm bringing that back, my friend. I got to figure out a way. I'm going to do it.
Tron is my stuff.
Now.
Baseball, Space Spartans, Night Stalker, Buzz Bombers.
Bringing them all back.
And I'll tell you
Buzz Bombers, that's what we need against these murder hornets.
Yes.
I should bring that one back and call it Buzz Bomber Murder Hornet Edition.
There you go. And I tell you what, Tommy. So I have, to this day, I am 44 years old, and to this day, I have a recurring dream that's based around IntelliVision.
Tell me.
Because I still have the game Triple Action. Oh. Right? And so
biplanes. Tanks.
Yes, so biplanes,
tanks,
race
the racing sucked, let's be honest.
Yeah, but you got enough fun out of the biplanes and the tanks. Right?
All you needed
3 games in one. It was 3 games in one. So I mean, how are you going to deny that? So, but here's the thing. So biplanes, when you start off, your plane takes off and you can go up in the air just so far. And then if you go too far, if you just keep going, your plane just starts falling out of the sky, right? And you got to turn it down, to get some momentum, or do a twirl or whatever. So I played that game so much as a kid, Tommy.
Yeah.
That I have a recurring dream to this day that I can fly. But I have to get a running start, and I have to jump up in the air and take a little dip down and then go up. And then I go, if I keep going up too high, I start to stall out and I start to fall out of the sky, and I have to angle down and to this day, I will still have that dream. And it's all because of that game, playing that game so much as a kid.
Now, Enosh, have you seen the new one that we're working on?
I have. I've gone online. I've seen some of this stuff. And so that was my segue. That's my segue into, man.
Okay.
Tell us all about the Amico and this new system that you're putting out.
So I think at this point, Max could probably give the pitch.
Well,
but
do you want me to show the video while you talk without the sound, or in the?
Go ahead and you can put it back up if you want.
So I just want to mention quickly about biplanes, though. The exact thing that you just talked about, right? It was such a simple gameplay element, which is you could only go so fast. You could shoot one bullet at a time, 1, 2, 3 at a time, right? You couldn't just automatic shoot. And then if you went up too far, you started to stall, and you could get out of the stall, but you had to be careful how you went up. That is the most simplest of risk reward gameplay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that we spent months. And if you watch our video and you watch Biplane, you probably recognized, oh my gosh, look at the tightness of the loops, the way the planes are stalling and coming back out of it, shooting while he's coming down, and we've added more. And so that is the essence of Intellivision, is simple, easy to understand and play games. Lance Jennings knows. And so here's my as quick as I can make it Intellivision Amico pitch. Amico is the Italian word for friend, by the way.
Okay.
And so, I've been in the video game industry over 32 years. I've enjoyed video games my entire life. And my greatest memories growing up, and I would pose this question to both Max and you, Enosh. There it is that, look at him stall back down.
Oh my gosh, look how awesome that is.
Boom, that guy didn't make it. You can see like this guy's been hit a couple times. That's why you get the black smoke. Boom.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, look at this.
Yeah. There's a great part in here where, look, this guy, there's one guy that gets a spear so one of the power-ups we're like trying to make interesting, like, boom, see the purple guy just got a spear. Man. He killed that guy. He's going to loop around, nail the red guy.
Oh my God.
Here comes the blue guy. Boom, wipes him out too. And then does a spin for good measure. Watch the green guy. Look, he goes into a stall, smashes that guy on the way down, and then pulls out of it right at the last second.
Oh, that's fantastic.
This is the kind of fun, simple stuff. But so what Intellivision is, and again, I asked this of all of you guys. For me, my fondest memories of playing video games are when I was playing with other people. For me, it was growing up. It was, baseball with my dad, skiing with my mom, hockey with my brother, Utopia. It was my friends coming over, friends, family. Those are my fondest video game memory. And I bet with you guys, your fondest memories of playing video games, I guarantee it was when there were other people in the room playing with you.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Heck yeah.
Maybe it was Bomberman or GoldenEye in the N64 or Halo LAN Party or Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo. We all have these magic moments where we played for days and days with our friends. And I feel that has kind of gone out of gaming or become not as important because, in the late 90s, Papa Pete in the house. He knows a lot about Intellivision, this man. In the late 90s, when the internet kind of came to be, multiplayer gaming now kind of more went towards a kid in a dark room with their headphones on, right? Yep. That's what multiplayer gaming became. And couch co-op started to, get less and less and less and less. And now there's really no hyper casual couch co-op games, because what a hardcore gamer considers to be casual, like a game like Overcooked, which is a great game, great developers. There's a perfect example of a game that gamers think is casual, but to my wife or to my mom, that's not a casual game at all. That's a very difficult game to, for a big segment of people. Sure. Keep in mind, there's 200 million hardcore gamers in the world. That's people who play on PC, like hardcore PC, the master race as they're called, hardcore PC, PlayStation, Microsoft, Nintendo, right? Those 4 platforms. Let's include Google Stadia in there because we're being nice. Okay, 5. There's 200 million people that play those games, yet 3.1 billion people that play casual and mobile games. Mm-hmm. This is amazing. So that means that out of all the people in the world who are playing video games on a daily basis, less than 7% of them are actually playing on Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, or hardcore PC. Think about that for a second. So what Amico intends to do is we're kind of the bridge between because the problem with mobile gaming is that it's very solitary.
Mm-hmm.
Every single edutainment game for kids, every single hyper casual game that's on mobile, it's single player. Like, you can't do couch co-op, with the exception, there's a couple exceptions. Jackbox is a perfect example.
Oh yeah,
of a great game where everybody can bring out their phone, main TV, and guess what? It's one of the most popular, games out there because it's couch co-op. So there's 2 million new video games, not apps, new video games that came out last year for iOS and Android. That's 40,000 games a week.
Wow.
A week, right? So there's zero curation. Then you get into the microtransactions, loot boxes, DLC, in-app advertising, in-app purchases, all this stuff, right? They want your credit card. They want your friends list on Facebook. They want your email address. And if you don't get that, you're going to get hit with ads. Every 3 minutes, you're going to get another 30-second ad or whatever. You want more coins? Watch our lame ad, right? And so this has become, what mobile gaming has become. And I got news for you. Mobile designers and companies design their gameplay around trying to suck as much money out of you as possible, right? Is that what games were intended, the original intention of a video game? And then you look at the hardcore gaming devices, and the controllers are, you could give my dad a PlayStation Series X, Nintendo Switch, whatever you wanted. He's never going to play it because of those controllers. Period. End of story. It's not that difficult. Non-gamers, casual gamers, when you ask those 3 billion people, why don't you play Nintendo, Xbox, or Switch? They'll tell you the same thing. I know the stats. I've seen the stats. We've done our own research, and they're all the same. It's too expensive. Systems are $300-400. Oh, if you want one controller, what if you got a family of 4? You got to buy 3 more controllers that are 60, 70. Heck, the Switch Joy-Cons are $80. The games are 40, 50, 60, now going to be $70.
Yeah.
And how many couch co-op games are for the PlayStation 4, let's say? So if a family of 4 casual gamers, a couple of young kids, they're going to spend $700-800, right? And so the point being is that the controllers, the expense, and then the solitude of it all, right? Most games, think of the biggest games right now, the Call of Duties, and even, Fortnite and those style of games are meant to be played, I guess Fortnite you can get on different controllers, but you're not, you're all trying to, kind of kill each other. But most games that are made these days are a single player solitary experience, or they're online multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
And there's violence issues, and there's sexual content, and there's nudity, and that's, there's the rating system, which is great. And so this is Intellivision Amico. All the games are $9.99 or less. All the games, $9.99 or less, except for our physical media, and they're only $19.99, around there, right? So they're not even more expensive, and you're going to get a lot of cool.
And that's actually baseball right there. What we just saw right there. Oh my gosh! Oh right? Well, I'm looking at the whole thing. I just saw the whole thing, but like I know my son's in the background, and he's watching this thing, and like I'm thinking about all the stuff that you're talking about, because it's stuff that we talk about a lot, right? As a family, because I have a family of 5, and the thing is, so I have 3 boys who are 14, 15, and 18, and then there's my wife, and look, I'm old school.
I feel bad for your wife. For that's a lot of testosterone.
Trust me, she's right in here with us, man. I tell you what, she's a collector as well. Our whole family collects as a family, and we do stuff as a family. And here's the thing: is I love all the stuff that we do as a family. We do the YouTube channel as a family. We do everything as a family. But when it comes to gaming, there's this big disconnect. Because the kids are all into these, new games, and that's great, and I'm fine with that. They're into Fortnite, and Call of Duty, and and all these different games. They're always telling me about this and that.
Call of Duty?
No, well, my wife will play a game every once in a while, and every once in a great while, I find a game. Talking about Tron, right? So like when Tron Legacy came out, I actually picked up Tron Evolution, and I played that game to the end.
Kind of sucked. I played it too. I struggled through it because I love Tron, but I wasn't.
But I enjoy Tron, right? And so I love the visuals. The music was awesome. And but the thing is actually for me as a casual gamer who likes more, I still got my NES hooked up. I still got my Intellivision obviously hooked up. I've got all that stuff hooked up, and that's where I go for games because I like the one shots. I like to I don't want to have to invest a huge portion of my life. But like you were talking about Jackbox, that's something that we do as a family. And we'll sit down and we'll play that game together. And I love those moments because we can all play a game together. We can all put in some time together and play it on the couch, like you said, and just have some fun. But otherwise, we're all standing there watching one person or something, or like you said, there's a controller that's got, 80 buttons on it. And unless you're used to it, it's like, okay, so, like my one son has tried to get me to play Fortnite with him, and he's like, hey, play Fortnite with me. And it's like I go right in and it's like, okay, I'm dead. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, you're a meat puppet.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. Okay. And so like I'm getting agitated and I feel like I'm the kid, right? I feel like I'm the kid, like really frustrated, like kids used to get, they're like, I got which of the button, what button is what? Like now I'm like, this get
off the lawn.
Yeah, I feel like this old man, like, these buttons, I hate these buttons. And what am I supposed to do? And I'm dead. Forget it. And I feel like throwing the controller. Right. So I totally relate with everything you're saying right there.
That sentiment that you just said is so common among gamers who grew up on video games. Like our generation, we were the first generation of people to grow up on video games, right? We had them when we were kids. And you'll notice that a lot of folks over 40 they don't have the time, none of us have the time or the, like we're all responsible adults now. At least we try to pretend that we are.
Sure.
Yeah. You're only young once, but you can be immature forever. Just remember that. And so, but we have all of these commitments and our time and like, for me, like I work really hard during the week. And then on the weekends, I'm typically working as well. But when I get off and of doing work, then I want to go look at, I want to play this game or whatever. It's like, but I haven't spent time with my wife. The dog wants to go for a walk. If you have kids, they want to go, you haven't talked to your buddy in a while. I haven't called my mom in 4 days. There's all these things and you realize like, man, I'm not going to sit and play video games for the next 5 hours. Like, college, I don't have the time for that. And it makes you feel guilty. But in Intellivision Amico, what we're doing is you're spending time with your friends and family. We're not selling guilt. Mm-hmm. We're selling time with friends and family. So it might, look, our system, I'm not trying to compete with Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. I'm not over here drinking my own Kool-Aid. Don't get me wrong, right? But I can't compete with those guys in technology. I can't compete with them in infrastructure. I can't compete with them in employee number of employees. I can't compete with them. So many different things, right? But I tell you where we can compete with them and where we can beat them. With ideas, right? And we have, if you think I'm passionate about Intellivision, I got news for you. We got 50 people here with the company, over 50 people now, closer to 60, and they're all as passionate as I am about this thing. And that is really, really amazing. We are hiring all the AAA rock star best people from around the industry. And they're all as passionate about this and as positive as I am. And that's something that's really important for us. So all the games $9.99 or less. no violence, no bad language, no sexual content, everything family friendly. Like when we were growing up, we didn't need that stuff then we don't need it now. Right. And and I'm not against that kind of content. I love Call of Duty. I love Red Dead Redemption. I love Metal Gear Solid.
Sure.
I love Halo. So I'm not against it. I'm not anti-M-rated or whatever, but I'm creating something that doesn't have that stuff on it because it's so unique. And my two biggest things that I want with our consumers, and I tell this to my team all the time, value and trust. Those are the two things that I want everyone who purchases an Amico to feel confident about. I want them to get a lot of value about what they're buying and what they're playing, and I want them to trust everything about what we do. And so just those two things alone, no microtransactions, no in-app purchases, less than $10 games, and no violence on the machine. Oh, and by the way, it comes with 2 controllers. The first video game system in 30 years that has come with 2 full controllers. Because people say, oh, well, what about the Switch? No, the Switch is 1 controller that you split into 2 little ones. The last machine was the Super Nintendo in 1990. Now people will say, oh, but I bought an Xbox and that's a bundle. I'm talking about the standard system that comes 2 controllers in first in 30 years. But wait, there's more, says the ShamWow guy. You can take any of your mobile devices, download our free Amico Club app, which people can download right now, and you can hook up to 8 mobile devices to the machine as well for free. We want 8 players out of the box. You get 6 pack-in games in the box. And I'm not talking. Tell me more.
This is amazing.
And if you order now, I'm going to throw in 6 pack-in games.
Oh my goodness, Tommy! I'm getting a British accent. I'm getting a British accent just sitting here listening to all the amazing things that you're telling me about this video game system.
You want to know the 6 pack-in games?
Yes, I do.
Oh my gosh!
And the physical games, but I know.
At the end of the year, I'm going to talk about physical. I'm going to because I want to show it, and I want to.
I know you do.
But I'll go on and we'll talk about it.
I have 2 pre-ordered Enosh too.
Wow, he's got 2 pre-ordered.
Yeah,
and so you can pre-order now if you want. And by the way, what are our pre-orders? You put $100 down, and it's completely refundable at any time. Anytime you want to change your mind, we give your money back. No worries, no harm, no foul, especially during COVID, right? I mean, people are losing their jobs, $100. And by the way, though, we did that before COVID. We've had that in place since January. And, and people, I think even through COVID, I think we've had like 35 returns out of the, more tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. Yeah, go fig.co. That's where the VIP special orders
I'll do that.
Are you good? Because that's what I was going to say, Max. If you could give me a link, or somebody could give me a link to it.
Yeah.
That way I can put it up both here, and then we can drop it in the chat as well.
You get
the wood grain
limited VIP edition. That's where you can
that's the special edition vintage wood grain, and then we have a glacier white and a graphite black. We also have a GTO red edition, which isn't on pre-sale yet, and we also have a Galaxy purple edition, which is coming. Which is currently, you can pre-order that. It's available on GameStop, and I can actually show you. Like here's
and what is this website again?
This is fig.co. It's an investment website. So can you go one page back, Max?
So
these are for people. Yeah, just go there. Just go to fig.co. Yeah, there it is. Right there. You can see where we've already raised $7 million. And this isn't a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo or crowdfunding. This is an investor website where you can go to invest and get money back when Amico is successful. So it's pretty cool. But yeah,
is this where people can pre-order?
Yeah, they can pre-order from here or from GameStop. And if you go down, Max, it'll show people, and there's a lot of videos and stuff. But if you keep going down, it shows the different colors. And that's our moniker, Together Again. There's the graphite black, the wood grain.
I have the wood grain and the purple.
Here's one of the casings of the wood grain right here. Pay no attention to this brown part. That's just placeholder for now until we get the gold in. But that's the wood grain there. Here's a GTO red, and you can't really see it, but it's like a really nice. Let me
put you up on here. Go ahead and put that up again, Tommy. Go ahead and put that up again so we can see that.
That's a GTO red. Here's the purple, the Galaxy purple, and again, you can't really tell, but it's like a metallic. If you look, the camera would focus. It's a really nice. And again, don't pay any attention to these. These are going to be like silver metallic.
Okay.
Special, and these are all special editions here.
Dude, look at that though. I mean, that GTO red, man. That is
beautiful,
sleek.
Right?
That's sleek, man.
I saw a fan made a Eddie Van Halen one. That looked amazing too.
I
wish that was possible.
Well, hey, you never know. I mean,
right.
I saw that too.
I'm sure people are going to mod these things. Yeah. But anyway, so that's the proposition, Enosh, is create every single one of our games. Every one of our games is curated by us. So I will not put out anything mediocre or junky or shovelware, which is very different.
I do have a question for you too, but when you're done.
Sure. When I run out of breath, give me another 5 minutes. And then the last point I'll make, so Max can get his question in. The other thing too is that not only is everything curated, but every single game has multiplayer and single player. Every game is couch co-op. And by the way, you don't hook it to the internet for multiplayer. We don't have multiplayer online. Now, Max,
I want that. I know. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So, and let me explain that to you because I totally get where you're coming. Max, in a couple of his videos, he's like, man, I think in order for this to be a bigger success, Tommy needs to get it online and this and that. Yeah. So here's my thought towards that, Max, because it's not, by the way, it's not out of the question.
Okay.
So
good.
No, just that up front.
I'll keep working on you.
But here, but let me tell you the reasoning. So again, value and trust. We're not doing this for the money. Right? A lot of CEOs will talk about quarterly earnings. They'll talk about shareholders and this and that. And that's right. The black and white are standard. They're $249. You get 2 controllers, up to 8 for free on your mobile. It comes with 6 full games, not tech demos, full games like skiing, like Astro Smash, like Cornhole, like Shark, Farkle, and that last one that I won't tell Max, but and then you get 6 full games, and all of them are $9.99 or less, and for the same exact price as the Wii came out 15 years ago. It was launched at $249. So that'll talk about value, right? So here's the thing, though, is that with multiplayer online, remember our target audience, Enosh, is families, and not, and it's not the hardcore gamer. Now, do I think hardcore gamers, like all of us on this call, do I think that they're going to eventually get one, try one, enjoy it, and bring it out when their non-gaming friends or their wives or whatever come? Absolutely. I think it's for them as well. But our target audience initially are going to be all those people who feel like they're being left out from video games right now. Like either like it passed them by, or the controls are too complex, or the people who were never into video games, consoles, yet play this every single day of their life. They love video games, but they're intimidated by the complexity and the controls. So to answer Max's question, though, because we're appealing to those people, I can tell you that one of the biggest statistics among, and let's just say middle America, but it could be middle Europe, it could be middle Canada, it could, let's say the average Joe, as they say, right? The average family who's casual gamers, this and that, or non-game. Mom doesn't play at all. Grandma played bowling a few times on the Wii and enjoyed it or whatever.
Yeah.
One of their biggest concerns for their kids playing video games, again, and for them themselves playing, it's like I said, the complicated controllers, the cost, the violence issue.
Yeah.
But you want to know one of the biggest things? Online gaming. Parents are so concerned because even within like games like Roblox or Minecraft, there's such a toxic environment. They want their kids to be safe. And again, our whole thing about Amico is bringing people together in the same room, couch co-op. God forbid a mom and dad gets an Amico for the 8-year-old kid on Christmas, and then he takes it into the room, gets on Wi-Fi, and shuts his door. And now he's not playing with his mom and dad because he's playing online. And then how do you control that toxic behavior and this and that? So currently, online gaming doesn't really align with the rest of our kind of family message, our trust message, and this and that. And it's something that moms all across the world are very concerned about for their younger kids. Now, that being said, the other reason from a financial perspective is when you create an online game, Max, when you develop online games, it takes twice as long, and the budgets are twice as big, if not 3 times bigger.
Okay.
So it's not just like, oh, you flip a switch and
I know that. Yeah.
No, you have to create those games because of the ping factor back and forth. You have to design those from the ground up to be played that way. And it's much more complicated. And then again, let's talk about costs. So not only do the budgets double and triple of the game and the time it makes to create the games double and triple, but then you have the servers. Then you have the servers that are constantly being hit. And people usually go with AWS, Amazon's server stuff, right? And that costs money. So now from an Intellivision standpoint, we can no longer charge you $9.99 for a game. We're going to have to charge you $20 for a game. And we're also going to have to charge you anywhere from $5 to $10 a month now to play those online games because of the servers and all that stuff. And so you see where when you start to break it down. But again, so that's why I wanted to explain to you so that you can understand why our thinking is the way it is. Now, all of that being said, Max, if Intellivision comes out and everybody wants online gaming because they're like, man, this baseball game's great. I love playing, but man, I wish, like my brother's in North Carolina, my mom's in Canada, my dad's here with me. I want to play my brother in baseball to relive those times growing up. So what we would do, if enough people asked for it, again, I'm not an idiot, right? Then what we would do is, the way I would set it up is kind of like almost like Facebook in that I would have to send a request to my brother and we would trade codes or whatever.
I like that.
So that I could create my own friends list. So we wouldn't allow, because that kind of takes care of the problem that the mom's worried about, right?
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
The son or the young daughter getting in a toxic, environment. Because you've been on, those 7-year-old kids, they rank on your mother like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, these kids got mouths on them. Oh my God. And God forbid, and I've been in chats, God forbid if a female gamer gets on and the toxicity that some of these, unfortunately, these female gamers have to deal with some of these, idiots.
Oh yeah,
right?
if you do you have to moderate and all that. I understand that's a big headache too. And
Yeah. So if we were to have online gaming, we would offer it as a separate service. Again, now it's a $5 or $10 a month thing. We'd have to make those special versions of the game so they'd be a little bit more money. Because again, we're passing all the savings on to the customer, right? You know what I mean? Like even with our physical media, how many times have you seen physical and digital be the same exact price? Zelda's a perfect example. Well, wait a second. You didn't have to manufacture it. You didn't have to ship it. You didn't have to insure it. You didn't have to give the retailer their 30-40% cut. What about the 10% cut that the distributor gets as well?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Why is it the same price? I'm not doing that, am I? I'm saying, you know what? $10. There's a couple bucks in there for us because, we have to pay to create the games. We have to pay for the licenses. You have to pay the developers.
Sure.
We'll make a couple bucks. We also make money on the hardware as well. Not a lot, but it's enough to sustain because, again, to me, I could have retired. And Max, I've heard you talk about this a few times. I could have retired 5 years ago. I could have easily laid back 3-4 times a year, bring out my guitar, go on tour, play in front of 10, 20,000 people.
I hope you still do that too in the future.
We are doing that.
Yeah, don't put that aside, man.
No, and I can do that. Make a few bucks.
We need Enosh with the backstage pass at the next.
Absolutely, man. We need to be there, man. We need to be there. We need to be jamming with you, man.
We're going to be playing. I'm going to bring you up on stage. We're going to jam together. Start learning Final Fantasy right now. That's all I got to say. Learn some Halo.
I will definitely get on that, sir.
And so that's the proposition, Max. And I did want to go into more detail because I read you loud and clear, and I understand what you're saying. I appreciate it's not even criticism.
Well, I will say this. My one big pet peeve about current gen stuff is they too much focus on multiplayer, where then down the line, in the future, the game's broken. Like it's not worth anything in the future. That's not going to happen if you do the single player focus first. And then if enough people ask, then you'll consider it and you'll have to figure it out.
It's not off the table.
Speaking of families and who you're making this for, I think this is all great because you're hitting a lot of buttons, Tommy, where I come from. And I want to bring him into the conversation now because he's been in the back. I wanted him to hear about this to be able to know what it was. And I told him about this earlier, and he's our resident gamer. So I'd be amiss if I did not bring him in on this. And of course, that is Isaac Juan Kenobi, Isaac himself. What's up, Isaac?
There he is.
I'm really glad to be a part of this.
Yeah, so I have 3 sons. Isaac is the oldest. He just turned 18, so he can see all the violence and murder and all that stuff that he wants to. But I do. I've got a 15-year-old and a 14-year-old, and look, those are all concerns. Like they love all the war games stuff. And look, I'm not like one of these hovering, like, oh my gosh. And I grew up in the 80s, man. We watched horror movies that we probably shouldn't have seen and a bunch of other stuff. So like, I'm totally, not on that, but I do agree. Like I do get concerned about, especially like the online thing, because I don't know who they're interacting with when they're in their room, just playing, games and stuff like that. And so I try to stay up on that and ask questions and stuff, but I wanted to bring Isaac in here. Isaac, you've been back there listening to all this stuff, in your dark, gloomy room there. It's not really as dark as it looks. He just doesn't have all the lights.
Well, here's the thing. Before you go into it, I want to preface this by saying one thing, and I can't wait to hear from Isaac. And Isaac, feel free to give your true thoughts. Don't feel like you're going to hurt my feelings if you think it sucks. Don't worry about it at all. I want you to be honest about everything, and hopefully maybe I can answer some questions if you have them. But I do want to preface everything by everyone by saying this. There's the demographic chart, right? Where there's young people, there's teenagers, there's millennials, there's Gen Xers, there's baby boomers, there's, my parents who are in their 80s now, right? There's all these different age demographics. There's male and female demographics. There is, and there's certain gamers versus hard. Hey, Cass, way to go. Check out fig.co.
Yeah.
But there's certain, are you a gamer, a casual gamer, a hardcore gamer, a hyper casual gamer, a non-gamer? There's all these different demographics. And this is what I want to say, that for us, we have the demographics that we're going to target who love our stuff the most. The moms, the families, the retro gamers, the seniors, right? The grandparents, they love what we're doing, like the Wii with the bowling and stuff. They love all this stuff. We have all the little kids love what we're doing. Boom, 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 boom. Do you know who's at the very, very bottom of our demographic list? Meaning probably the people who won't like the system is your demographic, Isaac. Male, teenager, who's a gamer. So that being prefaced and saying, I want to know, and I'm not setting that up because I think you're going to hate on the machine. What my point being is if Isaac can like it, then things really got to look up for us, because that's literally the lowest people who probably wouldn't be interested in it. So Isaac, I'm going to give you the stage here. Tell me everything that you heard. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, I kind of consider myself like a hardcore gamer because I have hundreds of hours invested into multiple different games, and I have I consider it a big collection over here, between the.
And what's
Wii U,
your
Switch.
poison now? PS4, Xbox, PC? What are you on?
Switch.
I see a lot of Nintendo stuff.
Yeah. So I have hundreds of hours put into all these different games, but sometimes there's just times where it's I want to play a game, but I want to go online and play an online match for half an hour, or play Paper Mario or Witcher for half an hour. Sometimes I just want to sit down and just play something for 5 minutes and then move on to something else. And listening about this, it's it sounds like something that definitely appeals to me.
Wow.
It's you don't need you don't need to invest an hour playing by yourself. That's or something. Right. Yeah, you can just sit down, play planes for a couple minutes, and then move on to something else.
Plus, your dad might have a chance against you on these games.
Exactly.
Well, if he tried to play you the other game.
Let me ask you a question. You're 18 years old. Have you ever played video games with your mom?
If it has, it's been stuff like Animal Crossing or Mario, the very simplistic games. Not things like Witcher or online Call of Duty.
No. But how often do you play with your mom, would you say? Is it twice a year? Is it 3 times a week? What if you had to put a
maybe
how many
about,
times
once
this year? Once a month.
Oh, this year. Yeah.
And I mean, Tiffany's pretty active. I mean, when she first got Animal Crossing, my gosh, she couldn't get her off of the thing. I mean, every day it was we'd go to bed and I'd be hearing, in Animal Crossing, I did this and that. And I'm like, honey, okay.
Now, let me ask you this, Isaac.
Jeez.
When's the last time you played a game with your mom and your dad together, the 3 of you?
Yes, it would probably be something like Jackbox.
Yeah.
And is that a frequent occurrence?
Yeah, we try to make that a frequent occurrence.
Great. Now let's talk about your brother. So now your whole family, all 5 of you, play video games together. How often? How many times this year have all 5 of you played a video game together? How many times this year?
Probably a handful.
Handful, right? What if I could say, now how sad is that, right? Because again, Enosh, Max,
and they're great.
when
they're better
up,
than most families. I'm telling you, they're
and that's a lot better than most, right?
Right.
You guys are special because you're all into gaming, right? But the average family, the answer is typically 0. But yours is a handful, and that's great. But Isaac, what if I could tell you that 2-3 times a week you were all playing games, and your mom was beating you, and your little brother was beating your dad, and everybody, no matter what their skill level, was all on the same playing field. You could play 10, 15 minutes of one game, switch to another and play that, and then your mom won that one, and then you go and that is what Amico is. That's what we're creating here. Is that something that you think would be appealing to you?
Yeah, it's kind of one thing I was also telling one of my friends, Kaylin, is she's not really big into gaming. She doesn't really game at all. Right. She told me the only game that she's ever played is Monkey Ball,
Super Monkey
so I'm
Ball.
Kind of like, okay,
I love it.
Yep. So, yes, I'm like, okay, I don't really know what game like to start you with then. If I should start with you with something like new or old. So like listening to this, I was like, this would be something that'll be very like good to like get you like introduce you like into gaming. Kind of like, hey, you don't really like you're not like one of like the hardcore gamers like I am, but this is like simple enough that you can learn it, enjoy it, and like we can play together.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Have fun
Now,
right away.
This is going to be an inside joke between me and Max right now, but and I'm not saying this to embarrass Enosh in any way, shape, or form, but this is funny, and again, this will be an inside joke between me and Max. But Enosh, you spelled Intellivision wrong.
Did I?
I didn't say. I didn't tell him on purpose. I knew.
Did I?
Because I know Tommy. He's a great guy, but I think he's a little OCD. I mean, if you were the
president,
I know.
I sure did. I sure did. You know what?
I sure did. Of CEO,
I sure did.
Television. You might be like, yeah.
I sure did.
You also called me Tony Tallarico, and that's okay too.
Hey, Tony.
Well, I tell you where there it is. It's right now, right? Yeah, it's right now. So it's in television now. I swear to God, that's so funny. Well, you know where I got the Tony thing?
I misspell it too. So
was I put in Tommy when I was creating all the stuff for the live stream. It put in Tony. I typed it in, but apparently I had to do it on my phone because I had to get a tire replaced today. So I'm at the place like trying to type it all in on my phone, and I didn't catch that it went to Tony instead of Tommy. And so then I had it in my head like it's Tommy. I got to change it, and I had to go back through the whole thing and change it to Tommy. And so that it's been in my head. So I apologize.
I'm just joking.
But I got the television thing changed now.
Here's a behind the scenes about Tommy. It was like 3 a.m. or something. I got a random DM. You spelled my name wrong on you might want to correct that on your video. I was like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you.
But it's like one of those embarrassing things because somebody else would have pointed it out, right?
Yeah.
And hey, dummy, you're interviewing this guy. You didn't spell his name.
Creative people are like this. Like, I get this. I get it.
Yeah. So, now Max, knowing me, and I don't want to dwell on the other interview you just did, but but his whole thing was like, and he was so mad and angry because I spelled his name wrong. Again, Max, you know me.
Yeah,
would that upset me? Come on,
no. Yeah,
come on. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
This is something that this is why I wanted you on Enosh's channel, and he's a family guy too. And it's very hard to find like genuinely positive people and creative people on social media now. And I want to be part of groups that really try to focus on that.
Right?
It's a trending thing to just find everything. And like, why do you even try to do anything anymore? Just be positive and try to leave a good mark on this.
Well, Max, then I would bring that back to you and say, well, why do you have those people on your channel sometimes?
I'm working on them. I said I'm going to sell you on the Amico. I said I said you're more invested. No, I said you're more invested than I am. I said you're all going to buy the Amico. I said they
spend more time thinking about it than you do.
Right. I said you're all going to buy the Amico.
No, but that's so important, Max. I think you really nailed it. And speaking of positivity, boy, did that come up at the right time. OEB Pete, I just love his channel so much. People should check it out. He's just so positive, so happy. There's not a mean bone in his body. And he just loves talking about positive stuff. And he'll be the first one to admit, he says, you know what? If you show up on my channel and you
need him on, Enosh. You need him on.
Be negative. Then he nukes you.
Let's hook up. That's what we're all about here, is about positive. Look, you have to be positive when you admit to everybody that you love The Last Jedi and it's one of your favorite Star Wars movies. So just saying.
Okay.
Just saying. I get a lot of flack from people.
I disagree with him on that.
Look, we go back and forth, but that's
hey, you want to talk about it? Then let's get real. For me, and this is a hidden secret, and people are going to hate me. I'm going to get hate mail over this. But for me, I personally liked Return of the Jedi better than Empire Strikes Back. And
I'm telling you, man.
I like Ewoks.
It's low key.
I like Ewoks. Max, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not
afraid to say it.
Listen, so Empire. So it's funny you guys bring this up because Saturday I am living out a lifelong dream. I'm renting out an entire theater because theaters just open here in Michigan. I'm renting
Isn't
out
that
the
great
theater
for like $99?
Yes, for $99, dude. And I got 20 friends, and then they gave me 5 more. So I got 25 people coming together. We've got a bunch of secret guests that are coming that I can't even tell everybody here on the channel because it's going to be freaking amazing. People are flying in from all over the country, and we're going to do this whole thing up. And we're dude, come on out, man. But we're having a party. We're going to watch The Empire Strikes Back in a theater again. It's first time since like 97 that I've seen it in a theater, and that's my favorite movie. But I was just talking to somebody the other day about Jedi, and I was like, you know what? It's so underappreciated because I think Jedi is one of those movies that like you don't think about a lot. You know, you just kind of think of, you know, well, yeah, it kind of comes to an end and the Ewoks or whatever. But you get into Jedi, and man, some of the best Star Wars is in Jedi, man.
It really is. I mean, to me,
oh man,
that last scene where Darth Vader's looking through him with the Emperor.
Oh yeah,
and you're a sister, and no, and that John Williams music that starts playing with the choir and everything is one of the best musical moments I feel in every Star Wars franchise. But then you got Endor, the speeder bikes. You got AT-STs.
Yes.
You know, you're seeing. I mean, come on, like Jedi was, and the whole Leia and Han thing kind of comes to fruition. I mean, I don't know. I know,
man. It's low key. It's low key, but you know, I think people overlook it sometimes. For sure. That's a great take there, Tommy. I like it. But yeah, no. So we're, you know, I'm living that out, and you know, it's going to be a fun weekend for sure. But
that's a great thing to do. It's going to be such an amazing thing to see. To get a group together.
For sure. But by the way, I just want to announce that I not only changed it here on the screen, but I also changed the INTELLIVISION name on the description of the video and everything. So now it is A-okay because that was my mistake. That's what I get. That's what I get for trying to multitask and do it.
Are you telling me this guy is gonna let anything with Amico not at the launch? He's like, no, this has to be right. Come on. He's a detail guy. He's a detail guy.
I'm guilty as charged. Guilty as charged.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, no, I like that. Look, I love the fact. I love the fact that you're paying attention to detail, because especially if you're rolling out something like this and bringing back just looking at the visuals of some of these games, you know, updated that I grew up with. That gets me excited to be able to think that I could play biplanes with my kids and they could understand now when because you know, I've got the INTELLIVISION hooked up and they look at it and they go, okay, that's fine, you know, whatever. But you know, like for them to actually be able to play a game.
I didn't know the original television. I'm a new convert. New convert.
But OEB Pete, man, that's what we're all about here, man. We're all about positivity. So hey, let's hook up and definitely talk sometime. I would love that.
OEB Pete, great.
But I did have a question. Gavin, who is one of our moderators, he's in the UK. He was asking about availability in the UK.
Yeah. So yeah, you can pre-order it now on some of the biggest sites, websites. Oh gosh, what's it called? So yeah, because we have one of the biggest distributors out there. But somebody just sent me the. Wait, let me see. Hold on. I'll tell you, it is on Argos, argos.co.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like their kind of Walmart or Best Buy or whatever. Here, I'll put the for your buddy here. There's the link there. Somebody just sent it to me.
Okay.
Another friend in the UK called Snestastic Pete. He's got a great channel. You see that link there?
Yep, I see it. I'm
throw that in.
Yep.
I don't know if it, or maybe could I throw it in the chat? I'm on Facebook. So.
Yeah, I don't think it'll let you. So I don't know. Oh, if you're on Facebook, yeah, maybe. Okay.
I mean, not on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. But
yeah. It's in there now. I just posted it. So yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see it. You'll see it there. But anyway, so yes, they're going on sale. It's going to be released in April of 2021. and the
Amico
Founders
in the
Edition.
Snyder Cut in 2021. I can't believe it. A great year. I can't.
Yeah.
I just get out of this year.
Let's just get out of this year. Let's get out alive, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and so Isaac, what, when you looked at Intellivision, like, I don't know, did you see the trailers or anything like that? What did you think about the controller? Did you look at it and go like, wow, that's a weird pile of crap? Or you were like, oh, this is, and you can see like the like the disc lights up, the buttons light up, the console itself lights up. And so you can have, different things will happen on the console. You can like unlock doors by like trying to match colors that are on the console.
Oh, really? That's cool.
You throw these concerts, now you got to put lights on everything?
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's exciting to me. I was like, no, I mean, I don't know why people are like, that shows personality. Why wouldn't you? If you made a console, if it was your dream to make a console, why wouldn't you put some personality or say, this is why I designed it? I'm like, I don't get that. I don't get why. I don't see why it's an issue. Like,
but and again, imagine, Isaac, you got a color capacitive touchscreen. Oh, and also you see the ball moving. You have a gyroscope and an accelerometer. You can see the ball moving along the screen. So that's why you have the lanyard. So you can you can use it like this, and you can throw stuff around or whatever. Bowling, darts, pool, cornhole bags, the whole thing. But also this is a color capacitive touch screen, which is the exact screen that's on your mobile devices. But the big difference with this is, if you drop your mobile device, your screen's going to crack or whatever. But if this was plastic, then it would scratch and it would be all crappy. Check it out. This is polycarbonate. So I can knock the crap out of it, and it doesn't scratch, but it's more durable than glass. But you get the same perfect wherever you press it kind of thing. This is also really interesting. You can see so we have 64 positions on this. Now, most D-pads have 8 positions: up, down, left, right, and the diagonals. And so those make up 8 positions. And that's what's on all your Nintendo devices and all this. Now, the original Intellivision disc had 16 positions. We actually have 34. And you can see all of as they're lighting up like that. But the other amazing thing, so if you don't press down on the disc, see, the disc spins, but nothing's happening. Nothing's happening though, until you press it down. When you engage it, that's when it comes into play. And why that's important is, like, when you're playing a game like skiing or Shark or whatever, and you're fish and you're just kind of like going like this, and if you want to take your thumb off and quickly go around, it makes it so easy and comfortable. But here's another cool, great thing, is that the harder I press down, see that line at the top? That's the pressure sensitivity. So watch, boom. So I can press down harder, and it feels, you can see the different pressure points the harder I press, and you can see the lights expanding more as well too. So again, something else really unique. So we've kind of like combined analog and digital together and put it on a disc. But wait, there's more. Because it has an accelerometer and because it has a gyroscope on it, you can hold it any way you want. So if you're a lefty and you want to hold the D-pad, or if you're a righty, and you want to hold the D-pad on this side and the shoulder buttons or use this or whatever, that's one way. But if you're a lefty and you want your left dominated thumb to control the D-pad, well, you can do that as well too, right? Or if you're old school like me and your dad, you can hold it like this if we want. Or when you're using the gyroscope, you actually use it upside down like this, and you can use it either you're hitting the disc or you're pressing the button here and throwing it out. So you really, no matter what you do, you can adjust it the way you want to play. But here's the cool thing. Not only is this a D-pad and a directional button, but think about this for a second. It also is a big giant button as well. So when you play a game like Centipede or Missile Command, instead of having a roller ball, you just have your thumb. And wherever your thumb goes on the screen.
Are we getting a new Centipede?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Max exclusive right there. And
that wasn't even on Max. That was a Poindexter Lounge exclusive. So
I'm sorry, Poindexter Lounge. That's right.
See,
that's
you
right.
got it wrong. We're even.
That's right. There you go. We're even. Fair enough. But now this button becomes a directional button, meaning if you hit up, it'll shoot from the center. If you hit to the left, it shoots from the left. If you hit from the right, it shoots from the right. If you press down, it just hits from the closest one where your reticle is at. So this can become a button as well. It's really amazing.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, Tommy, let me get this back on here. Let me ask you, because I wanted to ask you a question. So you mean that, like, unlike my Intellivision 2 controller, my thumb is not going to, like, fall off from pain trying to hit the side buttons?
Those were so brutal.
Oh my
God. And now you'll notice one thing.
It's the one negative thing about
one negative thing. There's about 5 negative things on that, and I'll tell you every one of them. But you'll notice that on our disc, when you press down those, so here's an original Intellivision controller, right? I got one here, and the Intellivision 2 was even worse than this one. This one was better, but when you push down, you see this ridge.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah. My thumb had plenty of blisters. Plenty of
brutal. What you'll notice on the new one, the way I designed it, is that when you push it down, it's flush.
Oh, nice.
So there's not that ridge. You'll notice the buttons. Now you have in Intellivision, these buttons were okay. They were kind of soft. They kind of sucked. But the ones on the Intellivision 2 were awful. Absolutely brutal and awful. Again, look at the buttons we have here. Deep dishes. They fit your fingers just so nice. Oh, and they're even flared up a little bit. And the backs, they're actually flared up. And it's hard to see on screen, but they're a little flared up so that your fingers don't fall off. Look at the backs of them. Your fingers go right so silky smooth into here or whatever way you're playing it and holding it. And look at the curve. Remember the old NES controller? Yes. It was like this very hard a rectangle. You'll see look at those. Everything is nice, curved, smooth, fits in really nice, really, really fun and interesting to hold on to. And then, of course, your Intellivision 2 pad sucked too, because at least you had the bubbles. Yeah. These bubbles that you could click down or whatever. But the Intellivision 2 just had more of the.
Yeah, mine right here. You got a little bit of a bubble, but it just, oh my gosh.
Do you have the overlays?
Yeah, I've got overlays too, man. I love the overlays. If you didn't have the overlays, Max, you might as well not even play the game.
I said, I'm the new convert. I didn't have the Intellivision.
So look, I got overlays of plenty. Look, there's football. Football, which was also an interesting game because if you ever lost the instruction sheet, which actually gave you the codes to be able to put in to do plays, you were screwed. But there's the baseball. You're out. Skiing. We're talking about skiing. I've spent so much time playing all the sound skiing. Effects. Oh my gosh. There's one, Star Strike.
That's right. Yeah.
Played a lot of that growing up with my friends. And Tommy, I will say this. I did finally notice your T-shirt, which is awesome. But Night Stalker right there.
There you go.
Oh, the music on Night Stalker.
Yeah.
I have a question about music when he's done.
Space Hawk.
Space Hawk. Now, you want to know something crazy? We have 4 people who are still working with Intellivision that started in 1981, including the guys who did Space Spartans and Space Hawk and B-17 Bomber. Those last 2 games you just held up, those 2 guys still work with Intellivision.
Really? That is fantastic.
Isn't that cool? 40 years later. This isn't some shell company that, we literally have boxes of stuff in the back room. Lock and Chase. We just announced that we're redoing Lock and Chase. We're doing Bump and Jump, Lock and Chase, and Burger Time as well.
Burger Time. That's the one I want.
Oh my gosh.
So Enosh, I understand you're a big movie buff. Right? I know Max is. I know that's what your channel is. And I'm actually there it is. I'm actually
question about
a
that.
movie prop collector.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I brought some of my things with me.
Yeah.
Some of
Yes.
my more rare things. I'm a big Planet of the Apes fan. It came out the
Nice.
year I was born, 1968. Charlton Heston, Rodney McDowell.
Yep.
And so I have original Planet of the Apes costumes that the gorillas wore, and so I have some of those stuff. I'm a big Rocky Balboa fan, as you probably tell,
Heck
especially
yeah.
an East Coast Italian. And so I actually have one of Rocky's robes from the movie that I bought. So I follow a lot of these auctions.
This is the only man that can make Enosh jealous. This is why I brought. This is the true reason I brought him on.
Yeah, I see your plan now.
I'm getting you back for that stream you took over. In the whole rest of the stream, he showed his entire house of toy collections. I couldn't get control of the stream. People like, who's Max?
Yeah, my entire house. People say that our house we should charge admission because, like I said, we all collect here in the house. So
that's great.
This is awesome.
I'm a big Indiana Jones fan.
Oh yes,
and I'm friends with George Lucas, and I work a lot at Skywalker Ranch. So I've done 5 albums on Skywalker Ranch, and I would take residence there. So I would live there for like a month or 2 months at a time. And so, but I was able. So I have a lot of the props, not that were in the movie, but were made from the original molds, including every single item of significance from every Raiders movie. So I have the chalice. I choose wisely. I have the staff of Ra.
This is the only man that could do this to Enosh.
The tablet. I have the tablet from the 3rd movie. But wait, the best one, I actually have life-size, made from the original molds, painted to the hilt, life-size Ark of the Covenant.
Drop the mic.
I'm done. Tony, it's your show. Go ahead.
It's Tommy. You called me Tony again. Max, what do I have to do to this guy? I look like a Tony. I'm an Italian. I look like an Anthony. It's my
did I say Tony again? I'm sorry, dude. I'm so verklempt right now. I can't even stop.
No.
Tommy, it's your show now.
Totally fine.
You're telling me you have a life-size Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, and including, I also have a full Indiana Jones in the pose with the bag of sand and the fertility idol on the rock, doing, about to switch, do the switch. I have that life-size scene in my house.
Dude.
Yes. I have life-size R2-D2, C-3PO, Chewbacca, Yoda, Ewok, and
Tommy,
Jawa.
if you ever let Enosh visit for a tour in your house, he might explode. He might explode.
If you're ever in Southern California, you let me know. Now, I did bring a couple of small things.
I was just there a couple years ago. I get there every once in a while. So
you call me.
You gotta bring Isaac.
Yep, Isaac, come out too. We'll play some family-friendly couch co-op Amico games, and I'll give you the tour.
What's up, Geek Getaway? Thank you for that $1. Appreciate that. That's going to help me.
You know what?
I told you. I'm going to get you to get the Amico Geek Getaway.
There you go.
I don't know who this is, but thank you because you're going to help me on my way to my own life-size Ark of the Covenant. So there you go. That $1 helps. Thank you.
Geek Getaway, he thinks he's on our PR list, but he's not going to get a review copy.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. But I think he donated that $1 because you called me Tony, because that's his real name.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so verklempt.
But I did bring a couple of real movie props. Max, because Max was in on it.
motive. Yes.
Yeah, Max said, hey, off the record,
Oh.
can you show up my friend Enosh?
Yes,
Not show him up. Show him.
Yes, please do.
Stuff.
Please do. Isaac, are you with
I'm
me?
a big.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a big Willy. I'm a big Willy Wonka fan. The original movie, not the creepy Johnny Depp child molester version.
Yeah.
But the original movie, I'm a big fan of that. Also, a big fan of The Fifth Element. One of my favorite movies. Luc Besson. Absolutely Mila Jovovich, of course. Bruce Willis. So many, Chris Tucker. So many great things. And my favorite actor of all time, who plays Zorg. And who also played Beethoven as well. And so these are some, so I have, I should have brought that. I forgot. So I have one of the Mangalador heads, one of the things, but that's kind of like propped downstairs. But I do have this, which is cool. This is the actual key that they used. In the movie, when his finger got chopped off at the beginning of the movie.
Wow.
So I have that. That's kind of neat. But I brought some of my Wonka stuff. So these are all original props from the movie. I have a Scrumdiddlyumptious bar.
Oh my gosh.
The Wonka fudge mallow. And then I got all these in a Sotheby's auction. I think it was Sotheby's. It was either Sotheby's or it could have been I forget, but they had a big Wonka auction a couple years ago, and I was bidding for Gene Wilder's suit, and I was in there, and I thought I was going to get it. I was in at I'm embarrassed to say this, and it sounds awful, but I was in at 75 grand. And the thing went for a couple 100,000. So I was just blown out of the water. I thought I was like all confident.
Yeah,
see, Tommy, you're just on a different level.
75 grand, I would have.
Yeah, you're on a different level than me. See, I'm like, hey, I'm in at $75, and this guy just spent $200 on something, and I'm like, yeah. But I get your sentiment.
This is the key to the inventing room.
Oh,
so that's kind of neat. Because if you're going to have anything from Wonka, you want the key to the inventing room, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then this beauty as well, too. So I want it now, Daddy. So I'll give you a little backstory. The Wonka kids, 3 of them are very dear friends of mine. The guy who plays Mike TV, his name's Paris Fenneman. And Julie Dawn Cole is the amazing actress that played Veruca Salt. Mm-hmm. And they're 2 very dear friends. And then also she passed away. But I'm Violet, you're turning Violet, Violet, blueberry for $1 for a daughter. But she passed away, unfortunately. But all of them have come to my shows. Julie Dawn Cole, in fact, me and her went to see the Wonka play when it opened up in the UK in London. So just the 2 of us. It was really great. Sitting next to the original Veruca Salt the whole night. And Paris is such a great guy, and they've been to many of my shows, and I bring them on stage during the show, and it's really fun. So I'm a big Wonka fan. And so, yeah, I got some of this stuff through them as well too. So
wow, that's fantastic, man. That's just absolutely so cool to see. Whoops, where are we? Yeah, there we are.
There's more. There's more. I know.
There's a lot more, but I don't want to.
I don't
want to.
Wow.
Already, this I feel like I'm showing off and I'm being a big jerk. So
no, man.
That was great.
I'm just trying to be. I'm showing this out of love and passion, not
absolutely,
to
man. No. Look, hey,
yeah.
Look. You know what? Seriously, Tommy. The thing is like, what I love about being a collector is I love the look on people's faces. Like I lose track sometimes of like when people are like, "Wow, you have so much," and "Wow, you have this," and I remember this, and I remember that. Like seeing something like that you have is this really cool window into. I don't know, something because you're able to be at that level. It's so cool to see that in the hands of somebody who cares about it, who is passionate about it. And I love the fact that you have all these different passions and they all kind of work together. You know, because that's how I feel that I am. You know, it's like I've got all these different passions, but they all come together, they all work together, and it's like one big passionate thing about me, you know. And so that's awesome to be able to get a window into.
Now I noticed in the chat Smash JT's here, and he's got a great channel as well. And Smash lives about maybe 45 minutes south of me. He's been to my house. He's actually one of the people who've played Amico. He played it over a year ago as well, and saw the thing boot up and saw the UI, and it was placeholder at the time. But you know, he's a guy who's actually seen all this stuff. And by the way, he was critical of Amico. And again, I understand. And yeah, so Smash has been to my house a few times now, and so he's seen all of the craziness. In fact, on his channel, if you go to Smash JT's channel, he has 2 or 3 videos where he kind of did a tour of my house, because I have like a Spider-Man room, and then
every Spider-Man comic
game collection. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's funny. Some of the haters, a few of the haters
tonight. They're being nice tonight.
I know, no, they're saying that I'm lying, that all this stuff is fake. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do we have people saying that? I'm
of course.
Well, we don't even care about that.
Same 3 or 4.
There is another question I was thinking about you, because you're CEO. You're very hands-on. I didn't really think about this before. How many of the games that are being developed are you actually working on the sound design to?
Every one of them.
Every single one. I must have missed Pete's question when he probably covered that before, because he covers a lot of stuff. But you're working on every single of these games. Wow.
Yeah, and
but that's hands on. Like, hey, what others? I'm not trying to like brag for you, but I don't know of another CEO that's that much hands on with the actual development of the games.
Yeah,
and you like
designing. Yeah, I'm designer of a lot of them, and audio director, and actually doing the sound design myself. And I have some help too, but yeah. So that's again, all of the people at INTELLIVISION, we're all game makers, right?
Yeah.
And we all have this massive 20, 30 year video game industry history of massive hits. And again, I think that's what makes us different, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at all of and again, I'm not trying to put down any other company, so I'm not even going to like name a company's names, but let's say one of the big, you know what? Let's just say that there's not a lot of executives or, that are game makers.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was unique. I think that's unique.
It's unique. It's something that we should feel proud about. And,
Well, I actually had a question from our collab the other day, the Geek Getaway. He wants to see more videos of gameplay with your audio design, because it has the one song that I think you've also made yourself.
Well, yeah, but we have done a lot of that. We put out an Astro Smash video, which has all of the audio on our August 5th event, which that you weren't too keen on, which is understandable. We did a lot. We showed a lot of the sound design. And Missile Command is another one we showed the sound design for. So we do that, but yeah. So, when you do a hype trailer,
right.
You want it to be about, you want it to be driving and get people excited. But when we do the individual trailers for the individual games, typically we will show, and so the games out there, like look at Moon Patrol, look at Breakout, look at Missile Command, look at Astro Smash. We have put out videos of those games when they're by themselves.
Night Stalker, I've watched
Night Stalker is another one, right?
Because just of the music.
So we do that. So to say that we don't do that, or with that we want to do more of it, we will do more of that for sure.
Okay. All right.
Well, I got to say, I mean, just from the time that I've seen it, from Max showing stuff to me doing my own research and finding out. I know when Max put out that video, like I even kind of gave him a hard time a little bit in his own chat and was like, "Hey, what's up, man? You're gonna What are you talking about, man? This is freaking awesome. Like
OEVP came flying. He's like, "What's up with this, bro?"
Yeah. Like, come on, man. What are you giving Tommy a hard time here, man? This stuff looks awesome. Like, you need to stop.
Well, I'll be honest. Like these events that all the big companies, they're not always great. It's a learning curve, and I think even though Tommy's very talented, and I think he's going to get there. I think it's also more than you might have expected too. Like pulling everything, even though the games I think they're quality games. They're more simplistic. It's still a lot more than you might have imagined. Getting this all together.
You never know. Like I said in the beginning, Max. The mountain, you never know where the top of it's going to be. You could get halfway up the mountain, think, is this the top? And then you look up and holy crap, I'm only halfway there yet.
I was really happy with the 10-10 event. I did give you a B. I'm waiting to give you an A. I'm rooting for it to give you A. I mean, that's just my personal score, but
well, we can get him out of here, and I can just tell you it's an A for me.
Well, there you go.
I love it, and so it doesn't matter what he says.
I'm still getting it. I'm still really looking for it.
Well, as long as you put your hard-earned money on it,
Max has been very, very supportive. He's very, very honest, and I appreciate it. I respect it, and I have a lot of love for Max. A lot of love for Cyrus Martin right here. Yeah. All the folks who give us so much, and here's the thing, it's funny because, truth be told, I bust the haters' balls, and I'm having a little fun with them, and they take what I say like, oh my God, I
laugh hysterically when
and Max. I mean, and Smash JT knows
personality. Yeah,
and it's funny. It's like like people want to give it to me, and that's fine. Look, I was on a TV show, worldwide syndicated TV show for 12 years, giving my unfiltered.
You were pretty critical.
I was a critic. Right.
Yes.
And so I know what it's like to get all this, hate and this and that and all that stuff and critique and whatever. And it's fine. And again, it's a part of life. So for the folks who say he can't take criticism, what they're not understanding is I'm just having a little fun, and they don't get that I'm doing to them in a funny way what they're doing to me. Sure. But they take it so personally. Oh, he's this and he's that.
I will be one thing, Tommy, though. This happens to everything that happens in video games that's released now. I do think this is video game crowd. This is they love to nitpick everything.
Well, hey, look, I mean,
I don't think it's just
let's talk about any kind of fandom though at all. Right?
Oh, yes.
Like any kind of subgenre, any kind of anything nowadays that has fans, that has people who are passionate about it. Everything is criticized and critiqued to the max, whether it be a movie.
I can't take it anymore. It's like,
it's insane. Everybody's got a different take. Everybody thinks that they know more than somebody else knows. So somebody can come in here and, they know more about video games than anybody else knows. And they know more about, I'm sure that they know more about Tommy's, background and what he's doing and how he's making this video game than anybody else, the reality is that people just sometimes need to shut up and sit back and wait for, wait for stuff to come out, wait for stuff to play out, see what it is, feel it, touch it, smell it, hold it, play it, whatever. And then, you know what, if you got something to say about it, then that's fine. Do a review of it, say whatever you have to say about it. But like this idea, it goes back to the positivity you were talking about earlier, Tommy, is have some positivity. Don't think that everything sucks before it comes out, or you even get to see it, or that you're gonna shoot it down. Yeah. It's like they're sitting there waiting, for something to fly out of the weeds, and it doesn't matter what it is, they're gonna shoot it at it, and
or they make stuff up because there's nothing there, so they have to keep, so they have to like make up lies about it to try to tear us down, which is hilarious. But the other thing too is that thank you.
That's Tony. That is Tony.
That's a Tony. Good luck, Tommy. Thank you. Yeah. But the one thing is that Cyrus, great, is that what I find kind of strange, if you will, And what I do find actually narcissistic and egotistical of others is that it's one thing to say, you know what? I hate those graphics. I think they look cheap. I don't like them at all. This thing's just a mobile game, flash game, overpriced, pile of crap, blah, 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 blah. And that's okay for people to think that because that's their personal opinion. Great.
Sure.
But what the disturbing part is, and again, I say egotistical and narcissistic, is that those people who may think that way are against and the people who do like it. They, in their minds, just don't understand or don't want to recognize because they don't like it. They feel like they need to impose all of their opinions, their very personal, maybe biased opinions. And anyone who likes it, they attack them. How dare you? So again, that's the egotistical, narcissistic thing. Look, if you don't like it, that's fine. Move along. But to go after people who like it as dummies, as idiots, as, just 50-year-old losers, white guys, whatever, right? Then you have to take a look in the mirror, my friends, because you're actually the one with the screw loose, whether you want to ever admit it or not. If you hate it, fine. But to say that others are wrong for liking it, that's when you've crossed over into being a hater. And that's all I'll say about that.
We talk about that a lot, actually, here, Tommy, and just talking about like accepting everyone's fandoms and what they like about whatever and what they don't like about whatever. That's fine. If you want to have a conversation about that, we do that a lot. We do a call-in show sometimes where people just call in and they just talk about different things that they love and they don't love. And I'm fine with that as well. It's like you said, it's when people start hating on other people simply because they like something. I'll never understand that just because I'm not that type of person. And I don't get into that. If you don't like something that I like, I'll just go, okay. And actually, it actually inspires me to want to know why you like something that I don't like. What is it about that thing that you like that I don't get? You know, that maybe I don't connect with. And there's been a lot of things like that once I get into talking with something about somebody and they share their passion about it, they're like, oh, well, I never thought of it that way. Like, you know, we were joking earlier about like The Last Jedi. It's such a dividing movie in amongst Star Wars fans. But like a friend of ours that we stream with, you know, he's actually told me off camera and stuff. He's like, I want to have you on my channel to just talk about what it is you like about the movie, like why you love the movies, like, because I want to hear that differing opinion that's just maybe inspires me to maybe like give that movie a second chance, you know? And I think that in general, if we just think about those things in general, you know, it gives us a different perspective when we actually listen to people and not just about stuff like video games or movies or toys or all those things. But what if we did that on a grander scale our world about serious issues? And that's one of the problems that we have in our country is like, we don't listen to each other. Everything's
everybody's
a blurb.
divided.
Yeah. Everything's a blurb. Everything's, you know, like, you know, we think we're solving issues on, you know, social media by throwing stuff at each other and, you know, but hey, you know, at least Getaway says my balls remain unbusted. So thank you for the $5.
I disagree, but okay, that's cool. That's his opinion.
Hey, $5.
$5 is $5. So
hey, that's all right.
The American
Take
dream.
the $5.
you
Your
so
buddy
much.
Phobic.
Oh boy.
He says no. He says in the chat, I don't believe anyone has ever attacked the Intellivision company. What? They say it all the time, like how stupid, why would anyone like those old controllers? The name Intellivision, nobody knows. They attack the Intellivision company all the time.
If Tommy didn't do this, even if he doesn't succeed, the Intellivision wouldn't be coming back. Why would you not applaud someone trying to bring Intellivision back? And it has the design of the old school television in the games and the controller and everything. It has, and plus quality of life adjustments for better controllers and all that. I don't understand. Even if you don't think he's going to fail, even if you don't think he's going to succeed, he's trying to bring it back. And I honestly think he wants to. Like that's why the other reason I wanted him. Like I'm like, talk about your collectors and stuff. Look at what this man does. He collects.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what he wants. It's not something he needs to do. It's something he wants. He wants to bring a television back.
Well,
he wants his memories.
I can tell you, Tommy, just from hearing you talk about it tonight, and I mean, I've already seen some other stuff, but after listening to you talk about this tonight, this is like actually something that now I'm excited about, that I want to get, because I want to do that. This is right up my alley. And look, here's what those haters don't get. Everything is not for the young people. Like you said, like what your demographics was, even with Isaac. Now, Isaac may be an anomaly because Isaac, look, we watch old 80s movies with our kids.
Yeah,
we have them understanding and knowing stuff that maybe the average, teenager doesn't, whatever. I mean,
they have an SNES controller right here.
Yeah, he's got his Super Nintendo controller right there. I mean, this kid.
I got more.
Little better.
Yeah.
Went a little bit more forward.
I want to see Enosh and Isaac battle out on a Let's Play of a Amico game.
Well, heck yeah.
I can't
that'd be cool.
that.
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing is, you know what? Whoever this is for, like, I get this. This is actually something, Tommy, that I get. I totally understand what you're trying to do here.
Right.
And I applaud what you're trying to do here, because it takes everybody. You're going after a demographic that actually would like to sit down and play a video game. But like you said, there's all these hindrances to it. And I like the fact that you've done your research. You know what's out there. You know what's going on. Now, it's like you put the thing out there and let the public respond to it.
Well, you know the other interesting thing too about even the folks who are critical of what we're doing or critical of me or whatever, the interesting thing is they're listening right now. They're watching right now. They could be doing a million other things, but here they are, drawn into this conversation,
they're all getting the Amico. That's what I told them. You're all getting it.
So if nothing else, we're interesting to them. But I keep seeing this one guy, Jehudi's channel, and he's asked this question about 7 or 8 times now, and I really want him to go into explaining more. He keeps saying, that I sue critics.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I think because you say when there's false information said about things and then lies.
No, let me tell you the legal terms.
In
legal terms
or something.
So we are a company that is taking in investments through the SEC and FINRA. If you're familiar with the FINRA, you can look it up, the SEC, Securities and Exchange and Commissions, right? And so if people go out there and say that we are defrauding our investors, and are saying that as a fact, all I said, and that is something that Pat and Ian have said, right? When you say that, all I said was, and this is my lawyers telling us this, is that that's actually against the law. You cannot say as fact, you can't say, but you can't give giving an opinion saying, I think that this is a bad idea. That's one thing. But by saying
it's fraudulent,
a company that's under the Securities of Exchange and Commission, the SEC, to say they're defrauding their investors, that's against the law. You can't do that, right? That's where it crosses the line. And so
or you
that's
have to
all
prove
I said.
it. Yeah.
But to answer your question, we are not suing currently. We're not suing anyone.
That's not something you want to do either. That's like,
why would you want to do that? No.
Well,
so there you go. So Jehudi, or whatever you say, Jehudi, that's the let me know if that makes any sense to you. So to answer your question, no, we don't sue critics. There's nothing wrong with getting criticism for the machine. It doesn't matter. It's the people who make things up that are not true. I believe I have a right to respectfully try to set the record straight. And I think Max and all the folks around here know that has been the case, and that I do it like that. Now, if people get upset because I correct them because they had wrong information,
I would do the same thing.
Well, that's not on me. I'm sorry, but that's not on me. That's on those people who are getting upset because they got something wrong and they couldn't handle the truth. So,
well,
anyway.
you gotta ask the question too, like, what's worse, like standing up and defending yourself and saying, hey, look, we know the facts, we know the truth, and what you're doing is illegal, or following somebody around from website to website or YouTube channel to YouTube channel just to harass them and give them a hard time because you don't like something.
Yeah. Well, and
no,
phobic,
or you can
I don't know
positive.
how old.
Well, phobic's a whole other.
Well, no, but I would ask an honest question to ask how old phobic is, because his response was, nah, I think people can say what they want. Well, that's nice that you
this is the
think
internet
that and feel that, but that's not what the law dictates. So have all the opinions you want. You can't do certain things. It's called slander and libel for a reason.
This is the popular thing on social media, is like, you're against someone's freedom of speech, and it's like, but there's different. You have to take each case a case basis.
But not when it's saying something about people that can lead people to believe something that's very untrue and cause damage to that company or to that person trying to do something. You can't do that. And that's what people are missing. Look, say all the things you want to say, give your opinions, but you can't just lie or just openly say things that are untrue and think that there's no ramifications, that there's no repercussions for that. That's dumb.
Well, here's the thing that upset me the most, and I'm gonna mention Pat and Ian's name because I think they crossed the line. It really upset me is when there was a delay, and what hasn't been delayed in 2020, and then he's like, remember, you can get your refund here and post, and posting that on. But that was so lame, unbelievable. Like, I wouldn't do that because I'm not interested in his guidebook. I wouldn't say, hey, you could cancel your guidebook pre-order. I'm like, that crosses the line to me, and make your criticism, but then that's kind of like going across the line, interfering with business, and it's sad. It's made me sad that we're the retro community on here that would get to that point, like, oh, this is what you could still do. Oh, come on, he didn't want to do that, and he's doing everything he can to get it together for the new launch date.
Exactly.
But that's where I was like, oh man.
Yeah. So Jehudi said he mentioned opinions versus facts are different. I agree with you 100% there. Yes. Opinion that you don't like the console, great. Opinions all day. If that's what you're into, then we want to give negative opinions all day long. That's great. Everything. But when people lie about, make up stuff that isn't true because they hate it so much because I've gotten under their skin or whatever, then that's different then, isn't it? I wonder if you'd agree with me, Yeah,
I definitely agree with you. Now, it's getting back on track. From all that negativity. So you mentioned earlier, and I look, you can't mention in television.
Thank you, Nerdy.
You can't mention in television without Nerdy in many ways is awesome. That's Dawson. That's my good friend Dawson. Dawson.
Thank
I'm
you
getting his name wrong. Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. So I would be remiss. We kind of glanced over it a little bit, but Isaac is down here as well. And Isaac is a fan. My whole family is a fan. And look, I have memories of playing this game right here. And I got Tron Deadly Discs up here.
Yes.
And there was a couple more Tron games for Intellivision because Tron was a part of those early Intellivision systems.
That's right.
And a big part of that, and a big part of my childhood. And look, Tron is still around, and now they're talking about a third movie. And so we're all looking forward to that. So you mentioned briefly, you kind of went over. You said, Tron.
I'll give you up to the minute info because
I'd love to hear what you got for that.
One of the things that Max will tell you, and he hasn't even been following us for the full 2.5 years or whatever. He's kind of came on.
No, I knew about it, but then I was like waiting to. I
started covering it this year. Yeah.
I knew about it, but I watched other.
But you knew about okay. So one of the things that Max will tell you is that I'm probably the most transparent video game CEO person.
Too much. It gets you in trouble.
I can tell.
And sometimes, well, like I hear you say, I wish he'd shut up sometimes. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, but so here's the reality of where we're at. Is now typically I don't like to talk about licenses that we're trying to get right now, because if I do end up getting them, then the surprise is gone because I've already talked about it.
Sure.
And if I don't end up getting them, then everybody's disappointed because I tried, right?
Yeah.
But I do make the exception with Tron, and here's why. Is that so let me just tell you, we've been talking to Disney for, close to a year now, trying to get the Tron license and what's the game. And we've, had to go back and forth a lot of times. And now that there's a new movie coming out, that actually helps us. And they want to do it. It's just a matter of negotiating, because we're not EA, we're not Activision. Right. Again, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and go, oh, we got so much this and that. No, we're the small guy in the block with, how many installed base we have right now? 0, right? And so typically Disney doesn't do business with a game platform that's never come out yet. And that's a fair, I totally respect and understand where they're coming from as well too, but they really love what they're doing. They really believe in me and the company and the people behind it. So we're trying to work out a deal. That's where we're at with the thing. I think we're getting closer. I think it's going in a positive direction. Here's the only reason.
I'll take you on that bet.
And so here's the only reason why I'll mention Tron as opposed to everything else. That Phobic, I'll take you on that bet too. But just like I took Tony when he said we'll never get Major League Baseball, but we did. Anyway, sorry, had to zing him there. But the idea is how are your balls busted now, Tony? Anyway, I think you should donate another $5 to Poindexter Lounge right now. But anyway, so the thing is the reason I don't mind bringing up Tron is because, again, I told you the 2 reasons why I don't, because if we don't get it, people will be disappointed. And if we do get it, the surprise will be gone. That's why I normally don't talk about licenses. But with Tron, I don't mind talking about it, because if we do get it, it still will be a massive, awesome, absolutely great thing. And then if we don't get it, people will understand. They'll be like, okay, well, it was Disney and they don't have any install base and this and that. So anyway, there you go.
Well, and especially if they get the Amico and they're playing it and they love the gameplay on Amico, then you have also the idea of fans are going to clamor for Tron. They're going to, people are going to be ecstatic about the idea of Tron being on this game system. I mean, just like Papa Pete said here, in 1982, Tron and Intellivision were simply known as being together. That was just it, man. Atari didn't have it.
Yeah. Here's I got to read the comments here, because again, this is something that's very funny. So we see Tony calling me a liar as he switches the goalpost. He moves the goalpost as far as he can. So again, what I said is, Tony, remember what I just said a minute ago? I said Tony said we didn't have the Major League license, Major League Baseball license. He said we didn't have it. And that is obviously incorrect. Now he says, no, you're lying. I said that you didn't have the Major League Baseball at the time we were talking on Atari Age. So, okay, so let's do that goalpost. Tony, you're still wrong. And you still welched on your bet, because he said he'd never talk about Amico if I proved it. And so there are a bunch of people in this stream right now who have seen our contract with Major League Baseball dated the end of January or beginning of February before that happened. So Tony, I'm sorry to disappoint you on that, but you gotta stop with that whole thing.
I think we have something for that, Tommy. Hold on just a second here.
Over the Grand Canyon, off your face, through the window, off the floor, nothing but net.
you go. But anyway, just and you know, and there's a typical example, right? Of I'm being called a liar. It's like we got the Major League Baseball license. Oh, but did you have it in February or March? Yeah, we did too. So there you go. But anyway. Well, let's move on. That was there was his balls being busted there.
Well, you know,
I got my thing in on him, and now he'll follow me for 3 more months. Anyway,
he
go
would
ahead.
have done that anyway.
Hey, but you know, but the idea is I think the game system looks great. I'm excited for the first time because my kids are always excited when the new game systems come out, right? It's like we got to have it, got to get this thing, and I'm just thinking, oh my god, more money. You know, like how much does this one cost? I mean, Isaac, you can talk to it a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the PS5 and the Xbox Series X come out in 3 weeks, and those are like $500 each. Yeah, it's like I'm still excited for it. I'm not necessarily going to get it, but I'm still excited to see what the future of that system holds.
All the kids banded together, the 3 kids banded together, and they traded in like tons of their old stuff, and all went in on the Xbox. You know, the last Xbox because they had to have they had to have the newest Xbox, and so like we all the whole family went in on that one, which was kind of funny. But you know, yeah, man, for something like this to be able to be there and be something that I can sit down with my kids and play a video game and not feel like I have to give my life over to, and also have it be retro enough that it's something that connects with me, yet something that I can share with my kids, that the graphics look good and these things are cool. I mean, Isaac, what do you think, man? You're seeing all this for the first time. Well, I know you've looked at some stuff up too, because I told you this was happening, but I mean, what are you thinking just looking at this?
I'm really looking forward to it. It's like I'm not one of those gamers where it's like, oh, if it's not 60 frames per second, I'm not going to play it, or it's 1080p, I'm not going to play it. I'm not one of those kinds of gamers. So it's definitely something that like caught me right away. It's like, okay, it's like you kind of took like the original games and kind of like reimagined them as like, hey, this is how I saw the game as I was playing it for the first time. So kind of like the people that grew up playing Intellivision kind of also get to replay these older games and like newer graphics. So I thought that was really cool.
Which game looks the coolest to you guys on that reel, you think?
Let's see. With how much I like baseball, for me, it's the MLB one.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I want Night Stalker, Astro Smash, and I wasn't sure on
Isaac. You mean that officially licensed MLB game? Oh,
yes.
Okay. I just figured I'd have to throw that in there.
Well, no, you know, but can we let's put an end to this? Let's put an end to this right now. Tony, who's in the chat, Tony says February 3rd. He says in the chat, he goes, that's when we had our conversation, February 3rd. And the bet that Tony made, don't say anything yet, Max. Don't say anything yet, Enosh.
Okay.
The bet that Tony made, he said that I would have to prove it. He wanted to see my contract. February 3rd, he said, right? You can see it right there. And the bet he made me was that if I could show him that we had the Major League Baseball contract signed before May 3rd, the bet was that he would never talk about Amico or me or Intellivision ever again. That was the bet. Right?
Okay.
Now, Tony, would you like to confirm that? Because I want to put an end to this once and for all. Tony, would you please confirm what I said was true? We'll wait for him. There it is. That's what I said. Okay, there you go. So that's confirmed. So we both agree. We all agree that. Now, Tony, will you live up to your bargain?
Oh, no.
Right? We're going to see. No, you didn't say May 3rd. You said February 3rd.
I'm enjoying this on both ends because talking about Atari age battles and Twitter battles, this is hilarious stuff to me.
This is great. This is going to I haven't even been around for this whole thing, and I'm intrigued.
Old school console wars.
Okay. So wait, hold on. We have confirmation. You said February 3rd. Okay. Great. Now, Tony, would you believe? Because you just had a conversation with Max, and would Max lie to you at all Would Enosh lie to you at all when I've just met this guy, right? Okay, he says he's always a man of his word. Okay, well, there you go. So, guys, can you look in your Twitter feed right now and read me the date on the top of the Major League Baseball contract, please? Go check. I just sent it to you on Twitter.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to send him our Major League Baseball contract. That's,
Yeah. That says February 1st.
February 1st.
2020.
February
The effective
1st.
date.
Effective date February, right? Because we put it together on I think it's December.
Yeah,
31st.
I see it. I'm not lying.
I see it. February 1st.
I also have another date there, but I'm not allowed to share that, I don't think. So you have it for,
Well, I think only a couple of things could be said about that.
They're trying. Let me just break it down for you like this. I can summarize everything up in simply 2 words. You lost.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
So there you go.
Oh,
Tony, there you go.
hey, Tony, we'll talk soon.
There you go, Tony.
I still like Tony. He's just a little, he runs hot.
When was it signed? He said, see, here he goes. When was it signed? When was it signed?
So we got to check when it's signed.
Here
Too.
comes the goalpost moving.
No, it says
February 1st is the date.
That's what it
effective
says.
date. The effective date. Yes.
Yeah.
It says
the term of this agreement will
we
begin on February 1st.
We signed it before then. We signed it like it says December 31st. So there you go. So
Tony, we could talk about Series X and PS5.
Yeah, he just can't talk about Amico or me ever again. So there you go, Tony. You like you said, you're a man of your word. So there you go. There you have it. Hopefully this has now all been resolved, and it was very fun doing that. So anyway, there you go. And I'm not going to rub it in, Tony,
do you want to take a bet still?
Always with you, what cannot be done.
Phobic, what would that bet be? I don't know.
About
Anyway.
Tron. It's about Tron on
Oh, about Tron. Yeah, man.
There you go.
I think he's
so
gonna
there
make
you
it
go.
happen.
So Tony, bygones.
Even Phobic says, I think you lost, Tony.
No hard feelings, Tony.
I wouldn't lie.
You
I
did
would
lose.
No,
But-
that's what it says. Look, that's what it says. That's what it says. That's what the contract says.
Don't spread that contract around, guys.
No,
Obviously,
no.
that's very.
I saved it. No.
Yeah, but never show that publicly. That is not for public consumption.
Okay.
Obviously,
No.
That was just to prove a bet here.
Okay.
And
well, I can tell you this, man. I'm a man of my word, and I'm a man of when I tell the truth, and that's what it says. That's what it says.
There you go.
I got no reason to lie. I got no skin in this game.
Even Phobic says Tony lost. So I'm there. You go.
Yeah, you actually been working on Phobic a little bit.
Is he? Yeah.
Now I'm calling you Tony. Tommy.
There's too many Tonys in the room.
No, because he said some of these games are starting to look pretty good. They're
Okay. There you go.
I think.
I mean, one of the things that people got to understand too, and I'll speak directly to Phobic or Jahutney or Jahutney or any of the folks, Squealer Pig, who I see in there. And so, again, let me just say that keep in mind, and I think, Max, you've talked about this, is that even all of those demos that we've shown, it clearly says at the beginning, these are work in progress.
And I'd rather see that and go along the way. I see gradual improvements. It's not like completely different, but I see little nice Easter eggs and stuff like the pelican that you're going through the skiing and you see the animals, the bear and stuff. And that makes it all more special. So I appreciate seeing the progress.
Oh, see, there's Phobic. See, that's the Phobic we like to see. He goes, he doesn't want to bet because he wants Tron to happen. There you go. There you go. Let's give a round of applause for Phobic on that. See, Phobic, you got some positivity in you. Come on, let's keep that flowing.
So you're going to make me buy a third console if you do a special edition Amico Tron. And I'm like, dude. I wasn't going to get them all. I'm not like OEB Pete. Yeah. I love Pete, but he's going to get every single version of it. I'm going to get the two I like. And like, if a Tron one happens, Oh, and then that Earthworm Jim special edition. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
You're attacking my bank account, Tommy.
Well,
It's okay. I apologize.
if a Tron console
The
happens,
special edition Amico Tron. Can you think?
Oh,
Well, I mean,
man.
when you got the blue lights on the black one, it
Yeah,
does look very
it does
Tron. I mean,
look-
that
yeah.
was what I was going for.
yeah,
Right.
heck yeah. This is all great stuff, man. I'm excited about
Yeah.
this. Isaac, did you have any other questions for Tommy?
Just one question is,
Yeah.
like kind of thinking about it. It's like, how do you play the games like on the system? Like I know like the Switch, you insert the cartridge, or
Mhm.
like nowadays you just insert like the disc or something.
Right. So,
like,
so
how does
that's
it
a
work
great
with that?
question. And so there's two ways to play. So you can get the digital version of the games, and all of those games are $9.99 or less. And there's no microtransactions, no loot boxes, no in-app purchases,
man.
no in-app advertising. You buy it again, $9.99 or less. So they're typically going to be anywhere from $5.99 to $9.99. I'd probably say the majority are in there. And those are the digital downloads. Now the great thing is, it's not like the Xbox where it has to be online all the time in order to be hooked up to a server to play a game. The only time you need to be online is when you download that game and you save it to your hard drive, or if you want to check the worldwide leaderboards and things like that.
Oh, that's
Now-
awesome. So you're going to have leaderboards. That's
Yes,
cool.
yes.
I'll-
Leaderboards.
Okay, I'll tell you
Go
what.
ahead,
I was gonna say, if the Poindexter Lounge gets an Amico, I'm gonna send you a GameStop Amico card so you can buy some more digital games
I'm
There you
down
go.
with that.
for
I'm down with
Isaac
that.
and Enosh.
Well,
I'm gonna send you one.
trust me. After hearing this presentation tonight,
Yeah, no, if you end
Uh,
up getting one, I'm just saying
I'm super excited,
No,
Max.
I
and
made
I'm
it
ready
look-
to go out and buy one right now. You should too.
Well,
This
I mean,
is
I-
absolutely
I-
fantastic and revolutionary.
I was tweeting the pod a little bit. I'm
Oh
gonna,
my
I'm gonna
God.
get you a gift card and send it to you so you get some more digital games.
Dude, this is
There you go.
this is
So-
beyond what
so-
I've seen this stuff, and this is beyond what I ever thought.
And to talk about memory and storage for a second, Isaac, we have 32 gig on board in the internal storage of the console. Now you might say, well, that's nothing at all, 32 gig. But you have to remember, because our games aren't like huge, massive things, the average
Not like big open world.
Yeah, exactly. The average game is anywhere from it's around 500 meg, 600, maybe it goes up to 1 gig. So that means that on our system, just on the 32 gig internal, and we have our operating system on there and the 6 free games as well, you'll still be able to store about 40 to 50 games just on the internal storage. But what else we have, where is it? On the back, we also have a micro SD. So you can expand the memory to another 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, a terabyte, whatever you want to put in there.
Yeah,
Are you
currently I have
kidding
a
me?
400 in
Are
my
you
Switch.
kidding me? This man's brilliant. He's thought of
But wait,
everything.
there's
That's
more.
amazing. There's
And
more.
so I'll tell you what too, with the controllers, talking about something cool, because we also have a USB 3 on the back of the console. Now our controllers, they go right into the console, so it's wireless contact charging. But because we didn't want to have people have to buy special cords and all that stuff, on the side, it's also a USB-C, so you can just plug it into any USB and you can charge them like that as well.
Dang.
So if you want to buy multiple controllers, which you could do at launch, you could buy different colors of the controllers and all that. You can do that as well. But let me get to the second part of your question, which is, what about is our cartridges? Is there this? Is there that? So we also have physical media. Now, our system has RFID built into it. That stands for radio frequency identification. The same kind of technology that when you take your credit card and you tap it on a thing or a watch, your Apple Watch or whatever, that's running off of RFID. Most all modern mobile devices have them. Credit cards have them. A lot of different things use RFID. And so our system, it's also built in. I believe it's the very first video game system ever to have built in RFID. Why I say built-in, because things like Skylanders and the Amiibos, you had to buy a separate base
Yeah, I
which you
have a lot
plugged
of
in.
Amiibos.
Yeah, that was an RFID base, but this we're actually built right into the console. And so what that enables us to do is our physical media can be whatever we want it to be.
Oh, wow.
And so we haven't announced or shown
This
off.
is what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that probably
teasing me.
in December, if not sooner.
Okay.
And so for collectors, they
like
are going
me.
to have, even old school collectors like you, Enosh, we have something for everyone. And it's not just going to be like here's a PS Vita box, right? For the show. You open it up and there's a thin piece of paper and there's this. And these boxes are like what? Like all the boxes. They're either DVD cases or like the Switch, they're just, thin pieces of paper put in this. And this is what we've been used to for physical media, right? And it kind of sucks because what we're doing is we're creating boxes that are amazing to look at, and we're putting things inside that are very unique and collectible. So it's not just, oh, this is it, but we can also have different shapes, different things, different, all these different things. And what's important to know now people might think, well, geez, why, it's really not a disc or a physical, where the game's on there. So what if your system goes down after 20 years and your servers go down? Then I'll never be able to use that again. We got you covered. And again, this is all part of stuff that I can't mention now that we'll be announcing.
Oh, okay.
But
that's a big concern.
This whole system as well also ties into our controller and the ability to bring games with you on your controller. So Enosh, I can take my controller, I can go over your house, I dock it on your system, and now, are you ready for this? We'll be able to play all of my games that I own. We can play them on your system.
Oh, come on.
Yes. And there's more to that I haven't told people yet because it ties in to the physical media, which we're announcing in December.
Well, I'm just sitting here listening to you, and I'm thinking because I got a bunch of collectibles everywhere, but I'm thinking, especially if this comes to fruition, there's something in there. You may not have a physical disc, but why wouldn't you have a collectible maybe that could? Oh my gosh!
A Tron disc.
Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Oh man, the possibilities are endless for that. Oh my god!
I want to definitely borrow OEP Pete's Amico controller for my. Because he's gonna have every game. He's gonna have every game.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on. So Enosh is showing his awesome, cool Tron thing, right? I'll be back in 20 seconds. Hold on.
Awesome. See, we started something here, folks. Can I just say, this has been a very cool, interactive. I feel that Tommy is very forthcoming in what he's saying, and I'll be honest with you, I am not some huge gamer. I am not somebody who just rushes out. Right? I mean, right, Isaac? I play a game every once in a while. Yes, I finally played Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I beat that game. But the video games that I pick are very few and far between that I really just divulge into a game and get into it. And certainly there has not been a game system that I've been super excited about in a long time. And so to hear all this and to hear the things that are coming that haven't even been announced yet, and just the ideas that are flowing through my head and everything, that's just man, I'm loving this. Okay,
you ready, Enosh?
I'm ready.
And again, I this is kind of we're dueling banjos here tonight, but it's okay. I'm not trying to show you up. I'm just excited, and I want to show you this because I know.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you.
You would appreciate this. So you had your figure, which you showed, which is really amazing. This was a very special limited edition San Diego Comic-Con version of that same figure that you just showed
Really?
me, but in the Tron arcade.
Oh, I seen that. Yes,
box.
yes.
That's really
Wait,
cool.
and you push it here, and then I don't know if it'll show it, but it you can't really see it. It lights up.
Yes.
The disc is lit up. See in the top there.
Yes.
But wait, just to put the finishing touches on it, signed signed by my two very good friends, the creator of Tron, Steve Lissenberger. And Richard Taylor, who was the special effects, the guy who did the very first computer graphic ever in a movie. So that's Steve Lissenberger and Richard Taylor, good friends of mine. So there you go.
He's red.
I thought you would appreciate that.
Yes.
I have a whole shelf over here dedicated to Tron, by the way, like old school Tron stuff, new Tron stuff, whatever. I got Tron stuff.
You and me both. Wait, do you want to see something else cool?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes. No lie. I got to tell him when he comes back, because I love every time he shows something and he's like, but with my good friends, I love it. I want to be one of Tommy's good friends. That's all I want. That's all I got to say about that. I want to be one of Tommy's good friends. So, oh my
I also have another question once.
Oh my gosh. Oh, you got another question too. Okay, good. Oh my gosh.
This is great and exciting. I might have to go. You guys continue.
This is fantastic. I will say this is exciting. And I missed LOL. Here comes the Tron showdown. Love it. Hey, thank you, Skylines and Sunsets. Best Tommy T interview ever. I like that. I like
Tony T.
That.
Okay.
I like it. I'll take that.
Couple of fun things here. This was actually a token from Flynn's Arcade.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So I was at the opening of Disney Shanghai when they did the Tron ride.
Yes.
And so this is a very limited edition Mickey Tron. And this lights up as well. I think the battery's dead. And this has a really nice bass it comes on as well.
Nice.
So that's cool for the Shanghai.
And
my friend BT did the music for that ride in a lot of Disney. In fact, I produced BT's last album, Electronic Opus, or actually he just came out with a new one, so it's 2 albums ago.
Nice.
And he's one of the greatest electronic artists ever. But this one, I think you'll really enjoy. So as I'm sure you're aware, Sid Mead did a lot of the designs for, the light cycles and the tanks and those things. But he also did some storyboards for Tron as well. And this is an original Tron storyboard by Sid Mead. But look at the scene as well.
Oh.
So when he's fighting Sark.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Tommy.
So that's original from the movie. Pretty neat, huh?
Oh my gosh.
I have so much. Now I also have a life-size Tron light cycle in my garage. Yes.
Next to the Ferraris?
Yeah, it is.
You got a Ferrari and a light cycle.
Well, it's in between a couple of cars. Yeah. I actually have a light. It's the red one.
In between my Ferraris, I got a light cycle.
A life-size light cycle. Yeah. And it works. And the reason I had it built was for my video games live show, because we were the first ones to ever perform Tron live. I brought Steve Lissenberg and Richard Taylor on stage with me at the Hollywood Bowl with 200 people of the LA Philharmonic Choir behind us. We played Tron. I had a guy dress up in a Tron suit, and I had Sark, the MCP, the Master Control Program, on the screen, and we were timing all of the music, and he was battling live action on stage.
Oh my God.
And the disc came down from above, and he's battling the MCP, knocking out his teeth on the screen with all the music playing live. And then at the very end, and we have a life-size light cycle. Zoom 130 feet across the Hollywood Bowl stage with 8 laser yags putting about 3,000 laser beams in the air. It was unbelievable. And you can actually see that on here. I'll give you the link if you want to see if you want to see that in action.
When Enosh, when he brings back video games live, we got to get a group together. We're going to go where you're at and party.
Yeah.
And,
well, we start up again in January. We're starting in Salt Lake City. What area are you guys in?
I'm in Michigan.
What state?
I'm in Michigan, but that doesn't matter. I could be where you need me to be.
I'll travel.
have car will travel.
Right.
I gotta tell you, Tommy, when you stepped away to go get all that stuff, I said, you know, one of the things I love about how you talk about everything is you're like, and this is my good friend, this person, and my good friend, this person, and my good friend, this person. I'm great friends with this person. I said, I just want to be Tommy's friend.
You are my friend.
I just want to be Tommy's friend. I just want to be Tommy's good friend. That's all I gotta say. Oh my gosh, Tommy, this is awesome, man.
We're good friends now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna show you.
This is fantastic.
Video. I'm looking for this.
Amico Mafia, Retro Bro.
Retro Bro is the godfather of the Amico Mafia.
Okay.
I don't know. I just made that up. So. Gosh, where is my project? I'm looking for Video Games Live in Rio, Brazil, house tour, CD, video game composer party, Kickstarter.
See what's crazy is Isaac, you know how we do here. And like is that not me? Is that not me? Like if we were in that same position. Like,
yeah, that definitely is you.
Yeah, I wish your mom's probably watching, but like she just always tells me like that, you know, like if we were ever like, you know, that well off, that like, you know, that's how our whole house would be anyways. It'd just be bigger. Yeah. It'd just be on a bigger scale.
I'm gonna put this up, and I'm gonna put it to the part that I'm talking about.
Okay.
So that you can see it. Oh, there's Elijah Wood was at the first show. Stan Lee was at the first show. Gary Coleman. Oh wait, here it is. Okay, let me. I'm gonna set this up for you.
Yeah,
514.
Yeah, you just dropped the mic on every fanboy out there. Like I got a light cycle.
And he's friends with George Lucas. Thanks for reminding me, Master of None. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, there's the link. I just sent you the link. Okay. Bring that video up on screen so everyone can see it.
We'll do. Yeah, for sure.
Bring the video up.
Yeah.
You'll and it is like towards the end of the video. I just want to show you the light cycle, and it's really crappy quality because it was from 15 years ago. You know, before YouTube.
Yeah, here it is. I was looking somewhere else.
So just hit play from that point. It's like 4 minutes. You'll see Stan Lee, Elijah.
Yeah. Let me pull it up here. That's awesome. Okay, let's see here.
Do you want me to share it?
No, I got it, man. I got it. I'm just gonna go ahead and share the audio too. We'll just
do it.
Yeah. We'll just there we go. Okay, let me take this down. Yeah, he's friends with George Lucas. I know.
Oh, look at Eddie Van Halen there. MTV rockumentary 19. Oh man.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, that's a kick.
That still hurts. I still haven't gotten over that yet.
Man, my band, we got to play our first. We did an acoustic show a couple of weeks ago for the first time since COVID and everything, and then we got to play this outdoor thing where we actually got to play. We headlined this thing, and we did a little tribute to Van Halen because I was just like, man, you know, just to be able to do that again was awesome. So so let's go ahead and play this.
Here you go.
Part of the fabric of our culture.
Video games are an art form, and most people don't realize how far video games have come in the last 20 years.
This is pretty amazing. And as video games go, a lot of the music that's in video games is pretty amazing.
Okay, watch. Let's see it. Okay, ready? There he is battling MCP. Oh, wait, you'll see a little clip of it. There's Hideo Kojima was there. Okay, watch, here it comes. Oh, damn it! It wasn't there. Wait, hold on. I built it up and it. Hold on. Where it must have been earlier in the thing. Hold on.
Let's see.
Damn it.
I thought I saw something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, it was earlier. Shoot.
Was it earlier in the
okay,
video?
it's in that. It's. Damn it.
Trying to see if I can scan it and see.
Oh, there it is.
What minute mark?
It's at. Hold on, I'm playing it now. 3:50. 4. Oh, there it is. 40. It's at. Just put it to 4 minutes.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
We got people flying through the air.
So the stage show interacts with the screen.
God, look how young I
interacts
look.
with the music,
Jesus.
and it's this one amazing. It's like watching a live interactive video game.
And suddenly there are all of these kids screaming and yelling and clapping over what sounds to me like classical music.
It gives you the mood. It gives you the
There it
rhythm.
is.
That's where we came.
Another
in,
good
yeah.
friend of mine. I don't mind saying. But so, did you see the light cycle?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I'm trying to pull it back up here, maybe.
Yeah, it's such a crappy.
That's so cool, man. Right, here we go. There it is, right there. Oh my god.
And that baby
my
sits
gosh.
in my sits in my garage right
So
now.
you do this stuff for video games live so you can eventually have it at your house.
The only reason. The only reason.
Yeah,
Well, now you know it's
this
funny
is important
because
for the show crew, we have to have a light cycle on stage. Where's it going to
That's
end up,
right.
Tommy? Well,
Exactly.
well, what's funny is that we're moving into a new Intellivision office in a couple weeks because we've outgrown the other one.
Mhm.
We got 15,000 square feet for our Orange County office. We have offices in Salt Lake City, Dubai, and Nuremberg, Germany is our European home. And it's funny because I'm going to be moving, like I'm bringing in the Tron light cycle to to put in my office there. So why wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I just think it's great, Tommy, because like I said, my family teases me all the time that like if I was on that level, like my toys would just be bigger and I would just have like that's me exactly. So I get you. I get you. Thank you. I thank you for that, man. I get you for sure, man. That's wow. That's fantastic. That's just
it's fun, but and again, I just
inconceivable.
I just want to stress to anyone watching this that the only reason I'm sharing some of this stuff because I typically don't, but Max did tell me ahead of time that you're a big fan of this stuff. So I do it for no other reason than to share some cool stuff with people who appreciate it. So I don't. I hate to think that I'm coming across as like
Tommy, no. Thank you.
This is what we do here.
I figured you'd appreciate some of that stuff.
First of all, Tommy, having you here on the channel is just it's a blessing, and I'm thankful that you came on the channel, and I hope to have you back again. This is great. But then for you to be able to share this information with us about the Amico and just show your passion for it. And then, I mean, we've been all around tonight. I mean, you've shared your passion about a lot of different things, music and everything else. And I mean, we didn't even get into the fact that like, you're one of the guys who championed to have real music in video games, even, you know what I mean? And so there's a lot to you. And I'm thankful to have you here tonight. And then for you to share with us some of these things, which like really connects with me and just my love for collectibles and collectors and to see that you love this stuff, that, there's other people out there who it's some people just don't understand what it means to be a collector and to love the things around them and to be able to appreciate them. And
it reminds me of our childhood too,
absolutely.
Right? It reminds us of a more innocent time. I mean, why does Max have the stuff behind him? Why does your son have the stuff behind him? And it does. It reminds us of a simpler time maybe in life. I mean, I say that to Isaac, he's only 18 years old, but when you get older, Isaac, you appreciate that kind of stuff, even more than it brings you back. And that's what we want to do with Intellivision. Those are the feelings that we want people to have when they play Amico, to bring all those feelings that they had of kind of a younger time, and that's our only goal. And again, if you don't like the system, if you don't like me, fine, that's okay. You know what? But at least root for us. Why don't try to destroy other people's happiness, because that's when you really become kind of a sad, pathetic, kind of negative person. That's a hater. People who criticize me or the console, I don't consider them haters. It's the people who go out of their way to lie and want to destroy us. Well, that's when you've crossed the line. And again, it's time to take a look at yourself and ask why you're being triggered by other people having enjoyment out of things. So, but no, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. And Max, thank you so much for introducing me to this wonderful family. Great guy. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person, my friends. And
I told you, I said, I also said to the other people, I'm like, this is just Tommy. He's like, are they shills and stuff because they have the phone number? I'm like, no, he's just like real personable. He's like the most approachable. Like, you are a celebrity. You're just really approachable. I appreciate that. You talk to anybody that's willing to talk. And look, he genuinely wants friends. He's not just looking for people to cover his content.
Here's the thing, okay? Nobody has offered anybody anything to be on this stream tonight. Look, we've averaged 34 people. Right, 37 people. Like overall, we've had a few more. But listen, this will do probably much better on the back end when people watch it later. But I find this comical. This is right up there.
You have to understand this is the most unintelligent one of the bunch.
I'm sure. Because if they're making comments like
this is Pat's hardware expert here, right?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Okay. Hardware expert.
I find this one comical because this one's right up there with the person who once tried to claim that I was buying subscriptions here on YouTube, when it's like I've been trying to hit this 10,000 number forever. Like, these are idiots.
But do you see how they lie though? That's the thing, right? And
that's
Pat
hilarious.
Is so dim that he actually believes what this guy says, and he says it's a banana pie and this and that. Like,
whatever.
So it's funny, but this is you're seeing a little bit of the extent. Now look at him light up. Look at him light up in the chat. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. And then he says, we're personally attacking. I'm the one.
Well, of course. I mean,
again, I just gave him fodder.
You didn't just post some absolute nonsense. We do a show on here called 2 Cents on Nonsense, where me and my friend Johnny, we talk about nonsensical things that have to do with pop culture. I could almost do an episode on that comment alone. That's just dumb. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever talked to Tommy. This is the first time I've ever even been exposed to Tommy. I got his name wrong how many freaking times in this thing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, embarrassed myself on that, Look, you guys need to understand. This guy Tommy, is a pleasure having you here tonight, and I'm thankful for you being here, and it's been nice getting to know you, hearing your passion about the Amico. And all I got to say is
infectious. It's infectious.
Yeah, it is infectious, man. Like I said at the beginning, man, you had me going where it's like I just wanted to I just wanted to go out and accomplish anything that I wanted to do, man, just from hearing you at the beginning. And so this has been great, man. And like I said, anybody who would just attack you for just wanting to see something through like this, and like you said, just wanting to bring people together and families together, and then that's their problem. That's their problem. That's something that they got to work out in their own life, that they got nothing better to do than to chase you around on live streams and try to give you a hard time, and that's, at the end of the day, who cares? Because you know what, we're going to be enjoying our Amicos when it comes out. Because now I'm definitely going to buy one after this, man. I got to say, I'm definitely buy one.
I knew this was going to happen.
Because even if I didn't, this guy down here, I don't think would let me not buy one. by the time that this is all done.
Yeah.
So the thing is I'm excited about this. I know we're going to talk to my wife, after this, and I'm sure we're going to be telling stories about what happened if she didn't watch the stream. But I can't wait to be able to sit down and play this thing with my kids and be able to play newer versions of games that I grew up playing, on this thing, because I know what's going to happen. It's going to spawn conversation. It's going to spawn interaction. And then it's going to be like, hey, well, what did that look? What did, Astro Smash, or what did, whatever the game is, look like back then? And we're going to have that conversation, and we're going to play that game. And it's, I look forward to that, man. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you to everybody in the chat listening, right? I mean, this would be a great conversation. If it was just the four of us, that would be
absolutely.
I enjoyed, talking to folks who were like-minded in regards to, to all this stuff, pop culture, video games, movies, things like that. We all have so much in common, meeting each other for the first time. So I really love and enjoy it all. And for the people, in the chat as well, again, 95% of which have been, positive folks, and, a couple of knuckleheads, but that's okay. 'Cause even to them, again, they're here, we're providing entertainment, and they will continue to provide entertainment as well, because they find us interesting. Whether you love us or hate us, we're interesting. And that's a very great thing to be, because what would really suck, guys, is if no one cared and no one talked about us either way, right? Then I'm in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you're in trouble. If I'm not pushing buttons, that means that, like, oh, well, this thing, like, it's boring. Who cares, But the fact that we're pushing people's buttons, I think, does say a lot about how exciting and interesting we are. And again, the overwhelming majority of people are very, very positive. Just read any of the quotes on any of our videos on our YouTube channel. And yeah, there's, 3 to 5% are negative comments. Sure. But for a brand new video game console, heck, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good ratio. I bet Atari VCS and Google Stadia wish they had our kind of percentages. But anyway.
That's a good point. But
thank you all so much. Appreciate it on both sides of the fence, lovers and haters. Thanks for tuning in and listening to us. And again, Max, thanks for introducing us. It was a great time. Anytime you guys want me on, you let me know.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks, Max. Thanks to everybody. Like Tommy said, we really appreciate him coming on. Thanks to everybody who came in here and listened, who supported, who didn't support, whatever you did. You guys are all great and a lot of fun. There's more people going off. Who cares? The thing is that we're going to keep on being positive, because that's what we do here at the Poindexter Lounge. We offer a place for nerds. We offer a place for everyone to be able to come in and do their thing. What?
I'm sorry. That shocked me from Phobic. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What's that? Well, there you go. Look at there.
Oh,
look at
hey,
whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
Come on.
I was like, that.
Mark the date. Mark the date.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on. It is.
Somebody take a screen capture.
October 19th, 9:00 p.m. Pacific time. And hold on. I need to screen capture this.
Yeah, screen capture that.
Phobic. Other than the system's price, all of my concerns were squashed, so I'm done with the criticism. And by the way, Phobic, if you have any questions or feedback, you can always leave it. Leave it to Max. DM me on Twitter. I'm always open. There's nothing I won't answer. I'm not afraid of any question and all that stuff. Again, if I can answer it, I will. And I appreciate you keeping an open mind. And maybe the more you start to hear me talk, the more I'm going to either annoy you, or maybe start. Maybe you'll start to dare I say, be a fan of what we're doing. But again, even if you hate the idea and the concept, at least root for us. Root for the underdog. It's always
fun.
You
go. Absolutely.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. So I was just like, oh
no. When I heard that, it's like, well, we got to go back. We got to figure out what that is. So, Hey, thanks to everybody who's tuned in. If you guys just found the Poindexter Lounge, just know, look, we have fun like this all the time. This is what the channel's all about. We like to have a good time. We like to talk about things. We like to hear people's opinions. We like to give people a chance to voice their opinions. And we don't go around, doing too much of like trying to get rid of people or anything like that. As long as everybody's, fair and treats everybody with respect, you're all good. And I always kind of end the program. Well, first of all, I do want to say, I always have to say a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. Shout out to all of our members, and our newest member tonight is Brian, Master of None. Thank you, man, for becoming a member. And we're always grateful to everyone who supports the channel, whether or not you give to the channel or you just watch the videos and you chime in on the chat. That's what it's all about, is this interaction right here. That's why we do this. It's not for any other reason.
Higher, further, faster. That's another Amico fan.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy, you got 2 new Amico fans tonight for sure.
Thank you.
For sure.
Appreciate
and so we'll be looking forward.
Hey, Phobic just said he can't message me on DM because I've blocked him.
Well, you're not the first to block Phobic. I'll be honest.
Well, here you go, Phobic. I just unblocked you.
Oh,
so
wow.
There you go.
There you go. Friendships made.
Check that out.
Mission accomplished. There you go.
There you go. What else can be said? So like I always say at the end of every stream, look, don't let anybody tell, and it's very fitting for tonight. Don't let anybody tell you that your fandom doesn't matter. Don't let anybody tell you that what you like is not important, or that you shouldn't like what you like, or that you shouldn't dislike what you like. Be respectful of everybody's opinions. Be respectful of everybody's fandoms, and the thing that you like might be somebody else's favorite thing. That movie that you hate might be somebody else's favorite movie. This video game system that you hate, maybe somebody else's favorite video game system. And you know what? The thing is that one person doesn't have to be right and one person doesn't have to be wrong. There's a time to stand up for what's right and what's wrong. But when it comes to fandoms and it comes to the things that we like, let people enjoy what they like. And and just let it go. It's not your thing. You don't have to live with it. They have to live with it. And that's it. So, but remember this, that as long as you're respectful and as long as you treat others fine, you'll always have a place here at the Poindexter Lounge. Thank you, Tommy, again. And we'll be talking again real soon. Until next time, my name is Enosh, and you all stay nerdy.